Hello everyone and welcome into the Gatemen Baseball Network as we bring you another clash of Wareham Gatemen Baseball here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. They take on the Bourne Braves here at Doran Park tonight just over the bridge. America's birthday has come and gone and the Gatemen got a day off and are back at it after an 8-1 victory in Lowell Park over Cotuit on Tuesday. In impressive fashion, Henrique, they were able to take that big game against a dwindling team ahead of a holiday.
Yeah, the Cotuit Cavaliers were floundering coming into that game. A 2-2 ugly tie against Falmouth, a Falmouth team that, I don't know where it started playing some good baseball, but still not the cream of the crop as far as the West Division goes. I think the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have proved themselves to be mainstays in this division, but Cotuit came into that game 1-6-1 against West Division opponents. But no, like you said, a lot of big bats, and Joey Matulovic was absolutely masterful. One hit through his 6 innings before he signed officially with the Milwaukee Brewers just this morning. So he's down in Arizona getting his physical. Hats off to him, and he really went out with a bang. He was absolutely awesome. He had, he doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but it's a firm fastball. He had his breaking stuff working. He kept stuff low. A lot of these more dangerous Cotuit hitters even. Thomas Dillard comes to mind, who's a big home run guy. Shut him down completely. He was very quiet. So eliminated the long ball, eliminated the big hit, had a no-hitter going until the 4th inning. Just a pair of hits for Cotuit, and almost in the double digits, 15 for your Wareham Gatemen. They kept the hit parade going, a lot of men left on base, but when you score 8 runs, you're going to be okay.
And you were mentioning Matulovic signing this morning. How do you feel about his progress going forward? Because the way I saw him pitch on Tuesday looked like a kid who could be in the majors in a couple of years. You talked about the fastball. It's really not that hard. It only topped out at about 94 for him, but I think that's a major league fastball he's got going, and his breaking stuff's been working for him all year. Do you see him up in the majors in a few years?
I think so. I mean, like you said, he's got good stuff, and just getting bigger and stronger. He gets on that major league training program, diet, and he's still going to grow a little bit, and mechanically he's just going to improve, so he's going to learn how to tweak his mechanics to get an extra 2-3 miles an hour. The difference between 94 and 97 on a fastball, that's big. That's really big. That's what separates you from a double-A guy to a pro-ready guy. And like you said, his location has been good, so even with that mid-tier fastball, he's locating it extremely well. He's not missing upstairs to dangerous hitters. That Cotuit team, they're very on and off. They're very hot and cold. Their pitching staff is just okay. Their offense is hot and cold, but a couple guys that are very powerful hitters were completely silenced by him. So I think if he can keep things, keep his location as his priority and not get too worked about mechanics just yet, just let that kind of come with the process of being coached through the minor leagues as he works his way up, barring injury or act of God, I think we could see him in the big leagues in a couple of years.
And it was a great day for the rest of the Gatemen pitching staff. Cody Carroll coming in as well as Zach Hart scattered 3 hits across the entire game for the Cotuit Cavaliers, and they were only able to push across 1 run. In the 8-1 victory, John Martellini with a big day for himself as well, a 3-run homer in just his 4th start of the year, 4th appearance for the Gatemen, so he's trying to earn some playing time. And after the good pitching matchup on Tuesday, we're going to have Ryan Garcia on the mound. But for more for that a little later on, let's toss it to our host, J.D. Rachi.
Thank you very much, Cam and Henrique. Welcome into the Gatemen Pregame Show here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, getting you ready for what should be a very good matchup between a Bourne Braves team that is 2-0 this season against the Gatemen. They're the only team in the Cape League that the Gatemen has yet to beat this season, and it should be a good starting pitching matchup. As you mentioned, Cam, Ryan Garcia, the right-hander out of UCLA, will get things started tonight for the Gatemen on the mound. He had a little bit of a rough season this year at UCLA, but he has been fantastic in 2 starts on the Cape, a 2.57 ERA in 7 innings. He's given up just a couple of hits, just 8 hits, 12 strikeouts, and just 2 walks. His last outing versus Hyannis got into a little bit of trouble, at Spillane Field. Went just 3 innings. The pitch count was up near 80. He really had to labor through it. Gave up 5 hits, only an earned run though. Opponents were hitting .345 against him in that game with a .444 slugging percentage. So the extra base hits and the really longevity weren't there for Ryan Garcia the last time out, but this season had a really good year at UCLA, 2.34 ERA. He was very impressive in his first outing of the season against Orleans. Went 4 innings, struck out 9 batters in those 4 innings. So it should be interesting to see what we get from Ryan Garcia today. Do we get their strikeout machine that we saw against Orleans, or do we get the guy that we saw against Hyannis last week, where he really struggled to get through the 3 innings that he pitched. On the other side, the right-hander from Louisville, redshirt sophomore, 6'6", 220 pounds, Brian Hoeing. This season at Louisville, a 2.88 ERA. Mostly a bullpen guy, 24 games, 5 starts for him. 68 2/3 innings, gave up 63 hits, 35 runs, but only 22 of them were earned. 25 walks and 51 strikeouts. Not a guy that is going to strike out a lot of batters. He has not struck out many on the mound this season for the Bourne Braves. He's gone 3 appearances, 2 starts, a 2.76 ERA. He struck out 15 in 13 innings, so the numbers are a little bit higher here for him at Bourne. But we've really seen a couple of guys, including Ryan Garcia. The strikeout numbers are high through the first couple of appearances of the season for starting pitchers, and then they start to trickle back down and go back toward the average once really teams are able to get a second look at him, or teams are able to scout him once or twice and be able to see what he is going to bring to the table. So it's Brian Hoeing versus Ryan Garcia tonight on the mound between the Gatemen and the Braves, and our Mary Orders got to catch up with tonight's starter Ryan Garcia before the game.
Thanks, guys. So, Ryan, your last outing, you went 3 innings with 3 strikeouts, but you had 80 or so pitches. What is something you're going to try to do today to get shorter at-bats?
Definitely just go after the hitters, trust my defense, and let them, make the plays behind me, and obviously that'll help my pitch count.
They have some pretty strong hitters on their team. Are you having a certain approach to those guys, like Triolo and stuff?
Not really. I'll pretty much pitch everyone the same. I have an approach that I go after every game, and that's just staying competitive and trusting my defense as well as my stuff.
And we're about halfway through the season. What has been one of your favorite things about the league so far?
Definitely the teammates here and the competitive aspect going on throughout each game, and it's just fun being here and playing baseball.
And moving forward to the rest of the summer, what are some of your goals or things that you're going to be trying to work on?
Moving forward, obviously I just want to keep getting better. Coach Lawler and I have been talking about getting better each day and, working on little things to help that. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Guys, back to you. Thank you. You can go back to your nap.
Thank you to Mary and Ryan, as always. Should be a good one on the mound between Hoeing and Garcia, 2 guys that both had sub-3 ERAs this season at college. Hoeing at Louisville with Garcia over at UCLA, and then this season on the Cape, they've also both got sub-3 ERAs. Not high strikeout guys in college, but high strikeout guys on the Cape thus far. Should be a good starting pitching matchup. And now that we've talked about the pitchers, how about we let you know about everybody else that will be playing in today's games? Here are the starting lineups first for the Wareham Gatemen, the visitors today at Doran Park. Jeremy Idens, the left fielder from UCLA, leads it off. He's followed up by Paven Parks, making his middle infield debut today. He will play second base, the left-handed hitter out of Kent State. In the 3-hole, the mainstay of this Gatemen lineup, the number 1 hitter on the Cape this season, Austin Shenton, the third baseman out of FIU. In the cleanup spot, Lyle Lockhart DHs tonight. He's out of Houston. Parker Phillips back in the lineup for the first time since coming back from the College World Series Home Run Derby. He bats 5th and plays first base out of Austin Peay. Drew Millis back behind the plate tonight. Played in right field at Cotuit on Tuesday, but he will do the catching tonight. The switch hitter out of Missouri State bats 6th. In the 7-hole, somebody we've become incredibly familiar with in that 7 spot, Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop out of UCLA. In the 8-hole, Isaac Collins playing right field tonight from Creighton, his 4th start in right field this season. And rounding out the bottom of the order, Skylar Hunter, the center fielder from Purdue. The starting pitcher tonight for the Gatemen is, of course, Ryan Garcia. On the other side, for the Bourne Braves, we talked about the big 3 last time these 2 teams played at Spillane Field on Monday, and all 3 of them, Spencer Brickhouse, Jared Triolo, and Tyler Fitzgerald, are in the lineup tonight. Leading it off for Bourne in the 1-hole, it's Anthony Prado, the shortstop out of UConn. Chase Murray, the center fielder out of Georgia Tech, bats 2nd. In the 3-hole, one of the big 3, Jared Triolo plays third base tonight. He is out of Houston. In the cleanup spot, somebody we did not see on Monday at Spillane Field, Spencer Brickhouse, the DH out of ECU. In the 5-hole, Lyle Lynn, the catcher from Arizona State, batting 6th and playing first base, the Radford product, Spencer Horwitz. In the 7-hole, rounding out the big three, Tyler Fitzgerald, the second baseman out of Louisville. He was held absolutely in check the last time these two teams played. 4 strikeouts, an 0 for 5 day for him. He will look to get back on the right track tonight versus Ryan Garcia. Batting 8th and playing left field, it's Oscar Serratos out of Georgia Tech. And batting 9th, playing right field tonight, out of Texas Tech, Gabe Holt. Starting pitcher tonight for the Bourne Braves is Brian Hoeing. So once again, 1 through 9 for the Braves. Anthony Prado, Chase Murray, Jared Triolo, Spencer Brickhouse, Lyle Lynn, Spencer Horwitz, Tyler Fitzgerald, Oscar Serratos, and Gabe Holt. And for the Gatemen 1 through 9, Jeremy Idens, Paven Parks, Austin Shenton, Lyle Lockhart, Parker Phillips, Drew Millis, Ryan Kreidler, Isaac Collins, and Skylar Hunter. Should be a good game coming up between the Braves and the Gatemen in just a couple of minutes, just about 15 minutes from the scheduled first pitch. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Don Snedden. That's coming up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Back here at Windy Doran Park here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, the Gatemen Pregame Show. I'm J.D. Rachi, your host today. And folks, remember, the Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing gatemen@pressbox.org. Please feel free to send us your questions, comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Also, make sure you're keeping up with all of the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, all by searching at Wareham Gatemen. Gatemen coming off an 8-1 win over the Cotuit Cavaliers on Tuesday, an off day in between for the 4th of July, and now that we're getting back into baseball mode, our own Mariota's got to catch up with head coach Don Snedden before today's game.
Thanks, guys. So, Coach, we had our most complete game for pitching a few nights ago. What was working to get that game going for not only Matulovic, but also the bullpen?
Well, Matulovic set the tone, and he just sort of like flattened them, and when you do that for 6 innings, your morale is not as high. So I think that helped tremendously. But the other guys came in and did a great job. You know, they got their breaking ball over and everything else. So yeah, it was nice to see when we needed one of those games.
And the offense was rolling too a few nights ago. What adjustments were made to get that going as well?
Well, I mean, we just stayed in there and got some key hits and all that. You know, and then we got a 3-run home run late to put it away. But you know, we swung better. We're getting better swings on pitches, and it doesn't always show up in the scorebook. And that's what I'm trying to emphasize to my players, just getting good swings, quality hacks, and then the results will come eventually. They get a little frustrated sometimes when they hit the ball hard and they don't get on base. But the laws of baseball averages that out, so they'll get jammed and get a base hit, and that'll make up for that line drive that was caught.
And looking to tonight, we lost on Monday to Bourne. What are we going to have to do to get the win?
Well, they're a good club, you know, and they always play well against us. So they got a good pitcher, throws hard tonight. We're going to have to try to get some points early and get in their bullpen a little bit with that. So it's a matter of being able to get on base without the hits too. Be able to get on base with a walk or, you know, hit by pitch or something like that. But the key thing is obviously when do guys get on base is to get that base hit.
And you mentioned that they play really well against us. Would you say it's kind of like a rivalry?
I don't know. I mean, I've been here 3 years, and he's played against us all 3 years, played well. I mean, it's usually been dogfights, and there's teams like that. I have no explanation why. They could be good, we can be bad, but still seems to be becoming a good game. So, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things that happens.
Well, Coach, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you to Mary Ann, Coach Sneddon, as always an insightful chat with Coach Don Sneddon before every game. Last time these two teams met came back on Monday night at Spillane Field. It was an interesting game for the Gatemen, to say the least. The right-hander Connor Lund got the start on the mound. He looked pretty good through the first 4 innings, but then the bullpen faltered. And here are the highlights from a 5-3 loss for the Wareham Gatemen against the Bourne Braves.
The Gatemen faltered for the first time in their last 4 games last night, but on a day in which most of the league was able to sit at home, Wareham had to get right back up to face their historic rival, the Bourne Braves, who won the first meeting at Dorn Park in a close one, 4-3. On the gravel for the Gatemen today is Connor Lund, who returns to the rotation after being roughed up by Hyannis in a relief appearance a week ago. Posing him for Bourne is Jared DeCesare from George Mason, who 8 days before had stymied the Harwich Mariners with 5 innings of 1-run ball. We'll pick up with him in the bottom of the second with 1 out as he looks to do the same to Wareham.
Now the 1-2. That one rung him up on the outside corner.
Now that you finally figured out at least how to get a base runner against him, and now you've got him 90 feet away, you've got to bring him home.
Chop that one over to Triolo. Nice backhanded play across the diamond. That should do it, and it does. The Gatemen strand the aforementioned Luke Roscom. The 0-2. Swinging a ground ball over to first. This could be 2. Over to Fitzgerald. Back to first. In time, a 3-6-3 double play. Clears the thread. Jared DeCesare. 2 down for Brian Packard.
This has 2 leg kicks in there.
And gets a strikeout there of Luke Roscom, just his second of the day. But the Gatemen go down all too easily. DeCesare continues to roll, still under 50 pitches through 5 innings. 2-1 lifted lazily but surely into left center field for a base knock. Chase Murray aboard, and more importantly, scoring from third, it is Jared Triolo. 1-0 Braves here in the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch, hard ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Triolo going to score easily. Horwitz held up at third. Everybody moves up a base, and the Gatemen are doubled up here 2-0 in the 6th inning. The 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball right center field. Collins under it. Reaches up and makes the catch, tagging from third. The throw will go into third. They will surrender the run. That one gets away almost from Pavin Parks. Could have been ugly. Collins made the play, so a sacrifice fly, though. For Ashton Bardzell, his first RBI of the day. Oscar Serratos will bat with 2 on and 2 outs, but now with a 3-0 lead for Bourne. Team-based approach to the game at the plate. 0-2 lifted, high and deep into right field. Hole going back, he looks up, and it's gone! Isaac Collins with the solo shot. And the contact bat morphs into a power one for the first Gateman run of the day. 3-1 Bourne in the 6th.
So he is due for a hit here. Just by numbers.
Yeah. And he slaps that one into right field, and wouldn't you know it, a base hit. Rounding third hard is Jeremy Idens from second. He will score standing up, and the Gatemen now slice the deficit to 3-2. Austin Shenton comes through with an RBI base knock. 2 on, 1 out, the 2-2. Swung on and driven deep into right field. This will get a couple runs in. Rounding third hard is Gabe Holt. He will score easily, and they're actually going to hold up Jared Triolo at third. The Bourne Braves get one back. They make it 4-2. Spencer Horwitz delivers with the RBI double.
Keep that going here against the left-hander Waldichuk.
Delivers that one. That one sharply hit Lyle Lockhart to first and holds it. He couldn't decide where to go with that one. He was thinking about third, second, and home all at the same time. It all culminated in nothing. No throw from Lockhart, but a valuable out still made. But scoring from third, Jared Triolo on the indecision. Over to third, Horwitz. Over to second, Lyle Lynn. And Chase Murray with his third RBI of the day. This one coming via the 3 unassisted ground out. Lynn sets up low. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a hard ground ball up the middle. This could end it. Over to second for 1. Over to first. And that is how the Gatemen go down today. They drop one to the Bourne Braves, 5-3. Lyle Lockhart Jr. bounces into the game-ending double play. A tough ending here for the Gatemen.
The Gatemen failed to rally late as they dropped their second straight 5-3. Jared DeCesare was masterful for the Braves as he went 7 innings, giving up 3 runs and 6 hits while striking out 2. He now leads the league in strikeouts with 18. Connor Lund was solid too, going 4 innings with only 2 hits and 1 run allowed. Chase Murray for Bourne did most of the damage at the plate, going 2 for 5 with 3 RBI. For Wareham, their only real offense came from the long ball as Isaac Collins hit his first and Bryant Packard hit his 4th in his last day as a Gateman before heading off for Team USA.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Needless to say, a tough loss for the Gatemen on Monday at Spillane Field, 5-3 against the Bourne Braves. Really, the player of the game undoubtedly was Jared DeCesare. That had been the first time we had seen any pitcher go more than maybe 6 innings on the season. He was absolutely fantastic. On the other side of him was Connor Lund, the right-hander out of USC, still stretching himself out, getting himself into a starting role after being a reliever and closer for the Trojans this season. But Lund had a good outing, and then things kind of fell apart. Henrique, Cam, we're going to give it back to you just before we get into this game. It was just really a Jekyll and Hyde situation, as we have seen so many times this season with the Gatemen starter and then the Gatemen bullpen.
Yeah, it was a back-and-forth game, that 5-3 loss on Monday to Bourne, and a real tough luck loss for Connor Lund, Henrique. 4 innings, 1 earned run on 2 hits, and also struck out 4. You can't ask for much better than that.
No, you really can't. It was impressive for Lund but it was kind of Jekyll and Hyde because we saw that he has good stuff, but he left stuff up. And the big guys, I mean, we talked about it. Jared Triolo, I mean, it seemed like we harped on it ad nauseum in our pregame show, was that Jared Triolo was one of these big 3 that JD was discussing. That could really hurt you. And absolutely he did. He went 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, no RBIs, but kid's hitting .313 for a reason. This is one of the most high-powered offenses in the entire Cape League, and their record doesn't reflect really how good they are. Their starters have been fluky and in and out, but this offense has produced at a very consistent rate. And Tyler Fitzgerald, despite him going 0 for 4, I mean, he's still a very dangerous hitter. It's interesting to see, as JD told us, he's batting 7th now, and he was in that leadoff spot because he was absolutely raking. Coming into the 5 games against the Gatemen, he was hitting .480 in that leadoff spot in the last 5 games. He had an 0 for against Bourne, or against Wareham, I should say. Bounced back a little bit again that loss against Hyannis, but he's still a ferocious hitter no matter where you place him in the lineup.
We'll see if Ryan Garcia can equal that and maybe get a victory for the Gatemen tonight. He's been pitching real well, big strikeout numbers for the Gatemen on the year. We're about to have the national anthem come on at Doran Park, and we will have the game for you here from Bourne after these messages on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails. Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering... Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Back here at Doran Park on the campus of Upper Cape Technical High School in Bourne. It's the Battle of the Bridge tonight, third installment in the 2018 season. Your Wareham Gatemen taking on the Bourne Braves, who have gone 0 for 2 against this year. Hello, welcome in everyone. Alongside me is Henrique Demore. I'm Cameron Stewart. The Gatemen with the day off yesterday for the 4th of July holiday after an 8-1 victory against Cotuit on the road on Tuesday evening. Was a big lift for them coming into this game. Number 1 in the West still are the Gatemen, taking on the stingy third-ranked Bourne Braves in that Western Division. Here's how things shake up. Gatemen in first at 13-8 with 26 points. Hyannis still on their heels. The Harbor Hawks 12-7-1 with 25 points, and those Braves sit in third at 10-9-1 with 21 points. And then Cotuit and Falmouth round out the Western Division. And as far as points for the entire league, the Gatemen are tied for first now with the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, who are winners of 4 in a row with a 12-6-2 record. They also with 26 points. Tonight for the Gatemen, they will have Ryan Garcia, who will start in the bottom of the first inning, and right now Brian Hoeing from Louisville will get the start for the Braves. A 2-0 record on the year with an ERA under 3 at 2.76 in his 2 starts, and has pitched 13 innings and has struck out 15 for the Braves. Jeremy Idens, left fielder tonight, will start things off in his normal leadoff position.
And Idens been a bit better as of late. Has been broken out of that slump. Hit a long double against the Cotuit Kettleers. Takes a swing and a miss at that one, though.
Idens coming in with a .316 average on the year for the Gatemen. Does have a homer and 12 RBI. Evens the count here at 1-1 as the pitch misses low and away. One to him is going to be socked out to left field, but waiting for it, it's going to be over his head. Left fielder badly misjudged it. Oscar Serratos was under that ball, and now going all the way to third is Jeremy Idens with a leadoff triple. It was a ball that looked like Serratos had completely under control. Maybe the wind gets a hold of it, and standing at third base to start off the game is Jeremy Idens.
Jeremy Idens coming in today, a 5-game hit streak. And I'll tell you, yeah, 2 things, Cam. One, to hop off your point, I think the wind did something to that one. He did hit it a little wonkily. It was tailing over towards the left field foul pole. But also, we talked about this, on and off. Line drives hit to you as an outfielder are the single hardest play to make as an outfielder, because you always think it's going to be right to you, and it just keeps on carrying. Next thing you know, you're running to the wall, chasing down a triple.
First pitch is going to be in there for a called strike to a man in an unusual position. Paven Parks not only batting second in the lineup tonight, usually down 5th or 6th, but also starting at second base. Not something he's very used to, but gets that debut and that chance here on the Cape tonight. Second one he goes fishing at on a breaking ball down low, and he's down in the count very quickly, 0-2.
Parks batting just .217 on the year, but has shown flashes of power, specifically had that home run against Hyannis and that 17-4 shellacking of the Harbor Hawks. But hitless since, besides a 2-for-4 effort yesterday.
He's going to bounce this one up the middle. This is going to get a run home. Shortstop's going to be able to get it over to first. Play made there by Prado, but coming around to score is Jeremy Idens, and it's 1-0 Gatemen, just 2 batters into the game here in Bourne.
Like to see that. I mean, you get your leadoff guy at third base, Jeremy Idens, using all of his speed and a little bit of luck to get over to third. Them's the shakes, though. The Gatemen have a 1-0 lead with the bases empty.
Now Austin Shenton will step in, take the first pitch well outside for ball 1. Shenton still steady as they come. His far as batting average, .422 on the year. But he's a little bit early on this off-speed pitch. Swing and a miss there to make the count 1-1. One from Hoeing is going to run inside by the shoe tops of Shenton, and we'll get to the backstop, but no one on base. Counts it at 2-1.
Shenton 1 for 4 in the effort the last time these two teams played. Saw the Gatemen offense come out a little bit flat, not what we're used to, but 3 for 4 in yesterday's 8-1 win over Katuitt.
He's going to take this one up and away as well, so now he's out of the count further, 3-1. This one's going to miss as well, and Austin Shenton, familiar sight for him, finds himself on base, and what's happened more recently is he gets there with the free pass. First one issued by Hoeing here in the first inning, and now a man stands at first base for the struggling Lyle Lockhart.
Has now reached base in his 12th straight game, OBP at .519. And Shenton, he finds ways to get it done. He's not a big power guy. Only 1 home run on the year, 5 doubles. That slugging percentage, that just kind of comes with hitting the ball hard. Eventually, sometimes they find gas, but Shenton always a consistent producer in this lineup.
Lockhart first pitch swinging, going to pop it up. This one looks a bit easier for Oscar Serranos out in left field, but he makes it a little bit interesting, moving back a couple of steps, twisting and turning. He will make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting.
And there are now 2 men out, and Austin Shenton at first base ahead of the freshly returned Parker Phillips to the Gatemen lineup.
Yeah, the wind, I think, is, it's whipping down here, but even looking at the flag in center field, that thing is completely horizontal. Clearly a lot of shenanigans going on 60, 70 feet in the air where these balls are being hit.
First pitch going to catch the inside corner to Phillips for strike 1. Next one to him is going to be in the same spot, and without taking the bat off his shoulders, Phillips is behind in the count, 0-2. Comes in with a 185 average on the day. Spent the weekend in Omaha, competing in the Home Run Derby for the College World Series out there. Made it to the Final Four of that. 0-2 is going to be bounced on the ground to third base. Backing up on it is Triolo, and he will make the throw to first. And that is the out that ends the inning. Gatemen leave one stranded, but bring one home thanks to a Jeremy Idens triple that he came around to score. And after the first half inning, it's Wareham 1 and Bourne nothing here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more. Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
Bottom of the first inning we go. Braves looking to answer the Gatemen run with their first cuts of the day. Those will come against Ryan Garcia, the starter for the Gatemen out of UCLA. No record on the year, ERA of .257 in his 2 starts. Has pitched 7 innings and has struck out 12 over that time, only walking 2. And his last time out was the 4-3 victory against Hyannis on Friday night. He went 3 innings, gave up a run on 5 hits. Walked 1, but also struck out 3. So when we look back to his first start at Orleans in those 4 innings, was able to strike out 9 Firebirds. Enrique, no, we're supposed to expect a lot of breaking pitches from Garcia tonight.
Yeah, his stuff is really nasty. It bites incredibly sharply, and when he locates it low, it goes waist to knees in that last third of the stretch, the 60-foot stretch rather, between home and the mound. And his fastball also is very it's really good because of his smaller frame. Sometimes to bigger hitters, it looks like it's rising, so it never drops like a usual trajectory of a normal fastball. So some hitters have been confused. We saw again that Orleans game, 3 of those strikeouts came on some ugly swing and misses at about shoulder level.
First pitch is going to be in there to Anthony Prado, the second baseman today from UConn. Comes in with a .290 average. Homer and 13 RBI to his name as well. Gonna take this one well up high. Drew Millis, tonight's catcher, telling him to bring it down low. So the count stands at 1-1. One is going to skip into Millis. He will corral it. Count now runs 2-1 in his favor. So defensively, Parker Phillips at first base, Pavin Parks at second, Ryan Kreidler at short, and Austin Shenton down at third. This pitch is going to catch the outside corner just a bit, and that runs the count to 2-2. A familiar looking outfield, left to right. Jeremy Idens in left, Skylar Hunter in center, and Isaac Collins manning right field. And Millis catching Ryan Garcia as the 2-2 is going to be spoiled off to the right and out of play. So that's where the count will stay.
Isaac Collins back in the lineup again after an off day yesterday. We would go stretches at a time, 4 or 5 games without seeing him, and he's been in the starting lineup for the last 5 games. Got an off day yesterday against Katuitt, but still pinch ran. Utility guy has made an impact all over the place for the Gatemen.
This one's going to be fisted right at the second baseman tonight, Pavin Parks, who has to come in a few steps and retire Prado for out number 1 of the night. You mentioned that Isaac Collins becoming more of a mainstay in this lineup. Saw it a lot in the preseason, but when obviously guys coming in late, he was one of those guys who was a bit lost in the fold, but has made a comeback with some steady play defensively and offensively for the Gatemen.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, lost in the fold because of an influx of players, specifically middle infielders. Oliver Dunn and Isaac Collins were kind of the 1-2, along with Bryson Stott. He was the only middle infielder who had left. Then Ryan Kreidler, Sahid Valenzuela, and now I guess Pavin Parks playing middle infield for the Gatemen.
First pitch to Chase Murray is going to be popped up and out of play. Pavin Parks has been featured at third base and DH for the Gatemen this year. His first start up the middle tonight. Garcia going to miss up high to even things at 1-1. Not very many clouds tonight over the sky in Bourne. A tough sun. We've already seen a tough wind going out to left field, but the sun out to right is brutal. Actually, Isaac Collins just went to retrieve some sunglasses from the dugout to help him out there. This pitch from Garcia barely missing off the outside corner, bottom of the strike zone, so that puts Murray ahead of the count 2-1. Next one's going to be socked down that right field line. It's a long run for Collins. He's not going to get there. It's going to take a hop in front of him. He's out in the corner, and going down to second is Chase Murray, and he will slide into there with a 1-out double for the Braves.
Chase Murray, a guy who really hurt the Gatemen the last time these two teams played. 2 for 5 against the Wareham Gatemen with 3 RBIs, all of them singles though. This time he's got a 2-bagger, puts him in scoring position for the always dangerous Jared Triolo out of Houston.
So now it is the right-hand hitting Triolo to step in. Guy who has had multiple RBI in both games against the Gatemen this year. And some of the middle infielders are not on the same page with Ryan Garcia. And both Ryan Kreidler and Pavin Parks will meet on the mound with the Gatemen starter. 1 out in the inning, man at second base, and a 1-0 score in favor of Wareham.
And Triolo in the 6-4 loss against Hyannis yesterday that the Braves incurred to keep the Hyannis Harbor Hawks within pace of the Gatemen, 1 point behind him in the West. He's been a combined 4 for 8, 4 runs scored with an RBI. Batting average up to .324 on the year.
first pitch to him is a looping breaking ball that misses up high for ball one.
You got to be careful with that pitch. I mean, I know that Ryan Garcia is comfortable with that breaking ball, but that's how Connor Lund got into trouble. That's 2 inches lower, might end up over the fence off the bat of Triolo.
This one going to break down further, but Triolo will go down to get it and will bounce it over the head of Jeremy Iden. So coming around to score easily is Chase Murray. And down to second base is Jared Triolo, and the woes in left field have now affected both teams. Jeremy Iden's at the plate. Now one gets over his head, and that allows Murray to score, and we have a tie ball game.
As the wind keeps whipping our papers here, I mean, it seems like this might be a theme today. The wind is blowing out directly to left field, going from our position here right behind, the first baseline area of home plate, shooting out to left field, and Iden's, like you said, and Serratos have been affected by it. That one, honestly, that looked like Iden's had it well played, though. It looks like he just misjudged the hop. Maybe there was some funky spin coming off of it because it seemed like he just overran a little bit, or the ball took a hop he wasn't expecting, whereas Serratos just got fooled as it came out of the air.
Now the always dangerous Spencer Brickhouse will step in. First pitch, he fouls straight back to the backstop. The ECU Pirate this year, .324 average on the Cape. 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. 18 RBI for him. Has a man in scoring position here with 1 out and a chance to add to that total. This one, breaking ball, going to bounce inside. Blocked by Millis and runs the count even at a ball and a strike.
Brickhouse back in the lineup after a couple days' absences. 2 for 5 in that game against Hyannis. Like you said, always dangerous.
1-1 to him. Going to miss up about letter high and outside. So that puts Brickhouse ahead of the count now. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1. This one dips but is fouled off straight back once again by Brickhouse. Puts things at 2-2. Garcia, a very methodical worker on the mound, especially with men on base. As he starts to slow the pace down here already in the first inning.
Yeah, no kidding. Like you said, Camp taking his sweet time, keeping base runners off tempo, not able to predict anything that Garcia is going to do.
Here's the 2-2, cut on and miss. He ties up Brickhouse and gets a big strikeout swinging. There's 2 gone now in the first.
That was awesome. I mean, it was a good pitch sequence, breaking ball up. He went a couple fastballs down, but that one he left belt high. Could have been dangerous. Brickhouse, one of the better hitters in this lineup, if not the best hitter in this lineup out of ECU. I think he just straight up missed that, but let's keep a lookout for second time out. Garcia goes back to that same pitch sequence. I doubt he's going to miss that one again.
Lyle Lynn stands in, and Garcia is not out of the woods just yet. This one going to catch the outside corner to Lynn, who reached base 3 times last time these two teams met. A couple of walks for him. So a little bit of pop out of that bat from Arizona State. In his young season, hitting just .294 and with 3 RBI on the year, joined the team late. This one's going to run outside and even things at a ball and a strike to the Bourne catcher. One is a curveball that's going to miss up high from Garcia. Leaves it up there again, but this time Lynn laying off for ball 2, 2-1. Look back at second. Now the 2-1 home is going to catch the strike zone. Lynn was about to offer at it, but holds back and puts things at 2-2 with 2 outs in the first inning. A man on second, what is now a tie ball game, a run aside.
Fastball is put out, pitch against Brickhouse. See what he does here.
This one took a little something off it, and way off balance is Lyle Lynn for strike 3. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, X, Forrest, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. Bourne leaves one stranded at scoring position, but get one back. We are tied at 1 here as we head to the second.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
Back here for the second inning from Doran Park in Bourne. Got an exciting one as both teams exchange runs in the first inning. 1-1 is our score here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Second crack at bat for Wareham, 6, 7, 8 due up in the lineup. Starting with the catcher, Drew Millis, who is just now emerging from the dugout. Switch hitter will bat left. Millis with a couple of hits in the win against Cotuit on Tuesday, just his second multi-hit game of the year. Will stand in to lead things off here in the second inning.
On that right field spot with the departure of Packard as Idens has shifted over, becoming all the more fluid as Millis takes a rip and a miss at that one. But we saw Drew Millis out there playing right. We thought it was a little odd when Isaac Collins played right, but he's been a bit of a utility guy throughout his career. Millis, on the other hand, pretty much straight up a catcher, at least in his time here on the Cape. But got the start in right as John Martellini caught behind the plate yesterday.
Millis going to waste this one, foul off to the left, and he is down 0-2. This the most comfortable scenario batting-wise for Millis on the year. He's hitting .400 when leading off an inning, but quickly down 2 strikes. 0-2 going to miss away, and Millis lays off it, puts things at a ball and 2 strikes.
Like that pitch on 0-2, though. Millis, like you said, has been hitting better as of late. Leading off an inning, he seems to want to chase, be more aggressive. He's had more success. So putting something upstairs, a good idea from Hoeing.
This one he's going to reach out and poke into right field. It's a long run over there and a dive for good measure by the right fielder. Holt puts out Millis on a hard hit ball for out number 1.
That was hard hit. Seemed like it was to the right spot, but Gabe Holt out of Texas Tech. We all know he can do it with the bat. He didn't get many opportunities the last time these two teams played each other out there in right, but heck of a catch there. Like you said, Cam, 1 away.
Now Ryan Kreidler, tonight's shortstop, will step in. As we mentioned in the first inning, battling a tough sun out there in right field. It's the wind going to left, but the sun out to right. First pitch going to miss down low below the knees of Ryan Kreidler. Kreidler, that average down to 265 on the year. No homers, 7 RBI for the man out of UCLA. 3 in his first game for the Gatemen and a stellar debut, but has only struck out 3 times on the whole year. Takes this one low and outside for ball 2, 2-0.
And that all the more impressive, like you said, Cam, because he is an everyday guy, so just waiting for the statistics to kind of even out here. Put the ball in play, hard on the ground, good things are going to happen.
Took a cut and a miss at the last one, so that puts the count at 2-1. By that same token, he struck out just 3 times. He's only walked twice, so he does put the ball in play. That 2-1 going to be down low off the shin protector of Lyle Lynn. And puts it further in his count, 3 balls and a strike. 3-1 home to Kreidler. Cut and a miss. A pitch that dipped away from him. And that'll make things full. Isaac Collins on deck. Switch hitter will bat left. Here's the 3-2 offering. Now he's even up on walks and strikeouts. His third of the year as that one misses inside. And trotting down to first base is Ryan Kreidler with a 1-out walk.
That was a gutsy take, especially considering, like we talked about, how aggressive he's been all year. Just 2 walks to his 3 strikeouts. Unusual that he would take that pitch on 3-2, opting for the walk. But now here comes Isaac Collins. He's been hitting better as of late. He's got a penchant for getting on base and even went yard a couple days ago.
Collins going to take the first pitch on the inside corner. Thought about a swing. Elected against it, but he's still down 0-1. And while that average only shows 250, you mentioned it, Henrique, getting on base. 400 OBP for Collins on the year. He's found himself in the lineup once again today. 0-1, started inside, now goes outside with pitch number 2. Couple of called strikes, and Collins is deep in the hole.
Looking over, got a sign from Coach Sneddon. Obviously, on 0-2, nothing too crazy is going to happen, but Collins, a very utilitarian, high IQ, selfless baseball player, especially at the plate.
0-2, he is going to bounce foul right at his manager, Don Sneddon, in front of the Gatemen dugout. That's where things will stay. No balls, 2 strikes. Center fielder Skylar Hunter waits on deck. Isaac Collins also hitting .333 with guys on base this year, so comfortable situation. He's going to add to that right back up the middle through the outstretched glove of the shortstop there, Prado, and that'll be a solid single for Isaac Collins, the second hit of the day for the Gatemen, and there's runners at first and second with only 1 out.
Missed a little bit with that one, did Hoeing. Probably wanted that one a little more outside, but Isaac Collins waited for it to get in. That was on that middle out part of the plate to the switch hitter. Collins batting from the left side. Took advantage of it, hit it right back where it came from. Now 2 away, boosting that 250 average. Skylar Hunter is the batter.
Skylar Hunter, the number 9 man in the order. Switch hitter once again will bat left. And take this first pitch, a nice breaking ball in the inside corner for a called strike 1. Couple of runners on base for the Gatemen with 1 out. Trying to come back with a run of their own after Bourne tied it in the bottom of the first. He's going to bounce this one through the hole and in between first and second for a base hit. Kreidler is rounded third. He will come home. The throw is going to be close, but he gets the hand in there. Kreidler scores, and it's 2-1 Wareham on the base hit by Skylar Hunter.
That was an interesting slide by Kreidler. It looked like he had the throw beat by a mile, but a cannon from Holt out there in right field made that a tougher play than it was. And Kreidler at the last second, it looked like he elected not to try to hit the base with his feet, but I think he saw that the play was going to be closer than he anticipated originally. So he said, okay, I'm going to go with one hand, minimal surface area for him to tag, or Lyle Lynn to tag, and managed to sneak his hand under there. Right call made by the home plate umpire. It was tough, but Kreidler with a nifty last-second decision gives the Gatemen the lead.
Was a beautiful slide, and now on the throw, both runners advance, so Collins stands at third. Skylar Hunter at second, fresh off an RBI single, advancing to second on the throw. His 8th RBI on the year. Now Jeremy Idens, who has already made his mark on this game, a triple to lead off things in the first, will come in with 2 men in scoring position. Takes a mighty hack at the first pitch. Is unable to connect, so he's down 0-1.
That's pretty remarkable. Like you said, that RBI total from Skylar Hunter, considering the guy is hitting just a $136, but he comes up big in clutch situations.
Idens is going to need to clutch up here as that pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 2. He's down in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. He's going to bounce this one to third, but it will end up on the wrong side of the foul line for him as he stays in there at 0-2. Idens with the run scored, the first one of the game today. Also has 12 RBI on the year. Golden chance to bring that number up with a couple of guys at second and third, and just one out in the inning. 0-2, waste pitch, doesn't get him to go after it, well outside and blocked by Lynn. That puts things at a ball and 2 strikes.
Good block by Lynn, and Isaac Collins making him work over there at third base. Got himself about a fifth of the way down the line. Tried to force a sloppy throw from Lynn, but not the case here.
Here's the 1-2 to Idens. This one going to fall outside once again. And the Gatemen left fielder holding off, so that evens things at 2-2 to him. Two down low, and a cut and a miss there by Idens. They'll have to throw down to first, and the throw gets away. Collins is going to score from third. They're going to wave in Skylar Hunter. The throw all the way down in the corner, and down to third goes Jeremy Idens on a strikeout, and 2 runs will score. It is now 4-1 Gatemen.
What a game baseball is. We talked about how the aggressive base running was going to maybe force an ugly throw from Lynn, but that was just a routine strike him out. You got to make that play. You got to help your pitcher out, and my goodness, 2 runs coming in on that. Should have been a big second out as the lineup continues to turn over here for Pavin Parks. Man, oh man, ugly start to the game for the Braves. Defensively, I mean, Hoeing's been good. A couple of hard hit balls off him, but nothing too scary. 4-1 now for Wareham.
So mark it an E2 on Lyle Lynn as he absolutely airmailed that one down to first base. Infield will come in with a man on third and an 0-1 count to Pavin Parks. So 2-run score on the play, no RBI for Idens. This one going to miss down low and away. Even things at 1-1 on one of the craziest plays we have seen this year. The Gatemen trying to open things up, 4-1 here in the second. 1-1 to Parks. This one will run outside once again. And no real action in the Bourne bullpen yet. A couple guys starting to get up from their seats, but this is Hoeing's mess right now. 2-1. This one coming inside and low. Another block by Lynn. Puts the count at 3-1. Ryan Garcia getting some run support that he's not very used to in his 2 starts this year. This one going to catch the top of the strike zone. Parks was about to head down to first base, but he'll have to stand back in that left-hand hitter's batter's box, as he's got a full count with 1 out and Jeremy Idens waiting at third base. This one comes too far inside this time, and down to first goes Pavin Parks with a 1-out walk. And the inning continues to go on for the Gatemen. Runners at the corners for maybe their best pure hitter, Austin Shenton. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound here. Still no one warming up for the Braves. But the entire infield will come in and try to keep Austin Shenton off the board, who with his .422 average also has 15 RBI on the year. Tough guy to double up as well. Doesn't do that all too often. He walked back in the first inning in his only plate appearance. And if he does not ground into a double play, it will be Lyle Lockhart who's up next. In an inning that has already pushed 3 across for the Gatemen on 3 hits. But the big play coming on the drop third strike to Jeremy Idens, and the error by Lyle Lynn that allowed him to get to third and 2 runs to score. Shenton will step in now against Hoeing, who is on the hook for all of those hits. This one is going to be on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Hoeing comes home 0-1. This one's going to catch the outside corner. Shenton did not like the call, but it is a called strike 2. And it's 0-2 to the Gatemen third baseman today.
And didn't like the call, didn't necessarily like the pitch, anything a little closer. Wouldn't be surprised to take a rip and a miss, or take a rip at, I should say, especially with the wind blowing out to left. Shenton can hit with some zing to all parts of the ballpark.
Here's the 0-2 to him. He's going to wait on it and bounce it towards first base, and trying desperately to get it and record an out to Spencer Horwitz, but it will end up foul. Runner was off with the play. Idens was coming home on contact, but he has to trot back, and so does Paven Parks to first base. It's still an 0-2 count with 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
Austin Shenton's the type of guy that'd be able to extend this inning, give the 4-5 bats a little chance to do some more damage.
0-2 once again, cut on and missed, and down goes Shenton with the strikeout. It's second one of the inning for Hoeing, but this one counts and holds up as out number 2. Runner still at the corners for Lyle Lockhart. Left-hand hitting first baseman normally for the Gatemen is the designated hitter tonight, with Parker Phillips getting the start defensively at first. Two out, runner at the corners. First pitch to Lockhart is going to miss up and away for ball 1. That wind continuing to whip out to left center here at Bourne. Next one to Lockhart is going to be skied out to left. Serratos under it for the moment and will stay there and will make the catch. That retires the side. But 3 more come across for the Gatemen in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It's Wareham 4 and Bourne 1.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Stop by for a nice lunch or a relaxing dinner. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub foods such as fish and chips, sticky ribs, pulled pork, delicious burgers, and pizza. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. The Brewfish Beer Garden is now open for outdoor dining under the tent and casual dining and drinks at the outdoor bar, along with live music on Friday and Saturday nights as well as Sunday afternoons outside. Brewfish Bar and Eatery is located on Route 105 in Marion.
And now with our sideline reporter Mary Orders is Parker Phillips.
You had a 3-run homer last game in the 9th inning to kind of put an exclamation point on the game. Can you walk me through the at-bat?
I was just looking for a good pitch to hit, get a little more insurance in the game. Luckily, I got a curveball up and was able to put a good swing on it.
And how did it feel to get that home run in that game?
Felt pretty good. Definitely get some more runs for the guys. A little more like just a safe insurance run, so it was definitely pretty good.
Gian, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Mary. She's with John Martellini there, so my bad on the Parker Phillips. Martellini with the big 3-run homer that really opened things up at Cotuit on Tuesday night. So now as we head to the bottom of the second, it's a new score, 4-1 Gatemen lead. They've scored 4 on 4 hits, and Bourne has 1 on 2 hits. So to start things off here in the second against Ryan Garcia is the first baseman Spencer Horwitz. A couple of doubles brought a run home for Bourne in the first inning. A couple of strikeouts ended it for Garcia. This one's going to be skied out to left. Still backing up is Idens. Will reach up over his head a couple of steps in front of the fence and make the catch on a carrying baseball for out number 1 of the inning.
Yeah, these flyouts to left field aren't getting any less exciting, that's for sure. Idens having not even trouble with that one, but just like you said, a little more exciting. And we got the official word. There was some discussion between innings whether that'd be an error for Lyle Lynn as he airmailed the drop third strike throw over to Horwitz. It was in fact retroactively ruled an error, which the right call. So those runs coming in unearned from Hoeing, but still giving up 2 earned runs.
And now Tyler Fitzgerald will fall behind in the count here, 0-1. The second baseman today for Bourne. So I'm going to catch the outside corner. He's quickly behind 0-2. It's been a .318 average for him in his last 10, and that includes the 0 for 5 he had at Spillane Field back on Monday night. Down to the count 0-2 here. Here's the offering. He's going to cut on it and swing it back to the backstop for a foul ball. Keeps things at 0-2. Still an impressive average for him on the year, though, at .310. It was at .355 going into that game on Monday. He's going to wait on this one and sky it out to right field. Moving over to his right is Isaac Collins, and he will have his first put out of the day and put things at 2 out with nobody on here in the bottom of the second, and a shutdown inning for Ryan Garcia.
I've been impressed with Isaac Collins out there in right field. He hasn't have to make any spectacular plays so far, but as sure-handed as he is at second base, very sure-handed out there in right field as well. His first start out there didn't get any fielding opportunities, but has made some nice running catches. We saw him at McKeon Park as well, chased one down that was nearing the right center alley. Really good stuff from him. That'll keep him in the lineup.
First pitch is low and away, but a feeble-looking swing by Oscar Serratos. On a ball that bounces to the plate, puts him down 0-1. Pitch nearly in the same spot, but this time Serratos lays off. Evens things at a ball and a strike. It's the number 8 man for the Braves tonight, so guys still getting their first looks at Ryan Garcia. 1-1 going to be cut on and missed, and a fastball on the outside corner. So he's living away to Serratos, and he's ahead of the count 1-2. Waiting on his Serratos. A defensive swing will bounce it back to the pitcher, Garcia. And after the Gatemen get 3 runs in the top half of the second, Garcia sets down the Braves 1-2-3. 4-1 Gatemen as we head to the third here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support. Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry.
Back here for the third inning at Doran Park in Bourne. It's a 4-1 Gatemen lead. It's still Brian Hoeing out here on the mound. An uncharacteristically bad day for him so far. He has allowed 4 to score. Probably only 2 of them earned, as 2 came home on an error. That'll bump up his ERA, which was coming into today was .276 in his 2 starts for the Braves. Parker Phillips, the number 5 man in the Gatemen order today, will get things started. First pitch to him is going to clank him right on the side of the hand as he was about to offer it that pitch. A wince from the Gatemen first baseman, but he will head down to first base with a hit by pitch to lead things off, and Coach Don Snedden is going to come with a couple of trainers and check on him as he heads down there. So right on the side of the hand as he went to swing that bat. Going to bring out all the training interns in just his 3rd inning back after the trip to the College Home Run Derby this weekend in Omaha. A long check on him, and whether it's Phillips or not in a moment, The Gatemen will have a runner at first base with nobody out in the third inning and controlling the game now with a 3-run lead ahead of the catcher Drew Millis. And there's still a long check on Phillips as people start heading back to the dugout, and it looks like Phillips is going to come out of the game. So a lot of little bones in the hand. Don't know if one of them got nicked up maybe a bit too much, but coming into the game in emergency relief is Luke Roscom. Will come on to run.
Attention, please. Pinch running for Phillips, number 14.
So Roscom, a guy who has split time at catcher and third base this year for the Gatemen primarily, will come in to pinch run for Phillips, who's the first baseman today. So let's wait to see in the bottom half of the third how that shakes up the Gatemen defense. Now Drew Millis will step up, batting from the left side, a man on first with 1 out. He'll swing at the first pitch again and will spoil it off to the left and out of play just behind the Braves dugout. Millis started off that climactic second inning with a fly out to right field on a nice diving play out there by Gabe Holt. This one going to catch the outside corner. Catcher was set up inside, but Lynn has to come out to get it. Millis not too appreciative of the call, and he's down 0-2. Offering to him is going to be nubbed off the end of the bat, but will roll foul just feet away from home plate down the third baseline. So he's going to hang in there. For Millis, after that 2-hit game at Cotuit, brings that average up to 237 on the year, but has steadily been climbing since he's gotten more and more playing time for the Gatemen. He and Luke Roscom primarily splitting that catcher position, although we saw Gian Martellini in Cotuit. And this one gets past the Bourne catcher. Lyle Lynn is eaten up on it. And down to second goes Luke Roscom, fresh into the game. He will advance on the pitch that gets to the backstop. It's now a 1-2 count to Millis, and he's got a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Looks to bounce back on this pitch. Here's his 0-2 offering. This one's going to hang up for Millis, and he's going to shoot it right into center field for a base hit. Roscom was thinking about home plate, but he's going to be held up by Mike Mobbs down at third base. It was very well hit to center field, and they're not testing the arm of Chase Murray. But nonetheless, the Gatemen have runners at the corners with nobody out and looking to build on this 3-run lead. And they will turn to Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop, who will get that opportunity right now. Kreidler comes on. He had his only plate appearance last inning in the second. He walked on it, so still 0-for-0 today. And with a lead that could be padded in just moments, there's still an idle bullpen for Bourne. His first pitch is on the corner for a called strike 1. Even with the off day yesterday for the Braves, not wanting to go to that bullpen just yet. They're riding with Hoeing here. Oh, 1 is a breaking ball, a changeup that Kreidler looked foolish on, cut on and missed to put him behind 0-2. Owen getting deliberate, but here's the 0-2 home. Breaking ball again. This is on the ground to second. It could be 2. On to second for 1 and on to first. They do retire Kreidler with the twin killing, but coming home to score is Luke Roscom with the 5th Gateman run of the day. It is now 5-1, and the bases are now empty with 2 outs ahead of Isaac Collins. So a 6-4-3 and a run scored puts no one on the base paths for Collins, who is 1 for 1 today. He singled his only time up back in the second inning. We'll take the first pitch belt high on the inside corner for a called strike one. Collins building off a .250 average for the year. A homer and a couple of RBI for him. Batting down in the 8 spot for Wareham tonight. He's going to shoot this one the other way, and it's going to get under the diving glove of Anthony Prado. And what should go down as a single will be the second one of the day for Isaac Collins. He's 2 for 2, and the Gatemen keep the inning alive here in the third. So Collins is on, and a guy who's building his average, and with a RBI single today, so is Skylar Hunter, who steps up to the plate right now. In on first with 2 out, first pitch is an off-speed one that gets a cut and a miss from Hunter. He singled home Ryan Kreidler back in the second inning, first of 3 runs that came to score in the frame. This one misses outside, count evens at 1-1. And with the left-hand hitter Skylar Hunter up, Anthony Prado, the shortstop, is shaded way over towards center field. Triolo in a pretty normal spot over at third base, so a big hole where the shortstop would normally be. Hunter going to foul this one off to the right and to the backstop. So now he is down in the count 1-2, 2 gone in the inning for Brian Hoeing on the mound for the Braves. Here's the 1-2 runner off with the pitch, and Hunter gets a hold of this one to center field. Wynn moving out to left, though, is going to die that one. And Chase Murray will go down and get it. Gatemen leave one stranded, but get another run home and build out on that lead. It's 5-1 Wareham as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And we're going to have a quick commercial here, and then when we come back, we'll have J.D. Rachi with our look around the Cape League.
Established in 1877, TM Riders, a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Riders' goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich, Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
5-1 the score from Doran Park with the Gatemen out in front of the Bourne Braves. But as always, this isn't the only game going on around the Cape League tonight. The furthest game along right now sees the Falmouth Commodores with an 11-6 lead over the Katuitt Kettleers in the top of the sixth. Out at Red Wilson Field, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are up 7-4 on the YD Red Sox. Still no score between Harwich and Brewster at White House Field. And one more game getting underway later tonight, a 7 o'clock meeting between the Chatham Anglers and the Orleans Firebirds. 5-1 from Bourne. Now back for the play-by-play. Here's Cam Stewart.
Thank you, JD. First batter up here is Gabe Holt, and he is going to pop this one up in foul territory. And Austin Shenton, the third baseman, will go over and get it and retire the Texas Tech Red Raider for a quick out number 1. Still Ryan Garcia on the mound for his third inning of work, and a straight defensive change after Parker Phillips left the game, being hit by a pitch on the left hand. Luke Roscom came in to run, came around to score, and now will man first base, which is a position he is familiar with at Nebraska. But hasn't seen much action there for the Gatemen this year. First pitch is going to miss up high to Anthony Prado. So the second time around the order for the Braves starts here. This pitch knee high and on the outside corner, a good looking one from Ryan Garcia for a called strike 2. Prado bounced out to second in his only at-bat. So he's 0 for 1 today. He's going to wait on this one and foul it back to the screen in front of us, off to the right. So the count stays at 0-2 to Prado, the shortstop from Connecticut. (0-2) reaches down to get it, does Prado, and a pitch well down low, and we're able to foul it off down the third baseline. So he stays in there at 0-2, getting pretty defensive with 2 strikes. (0-2) with 1 out. This one comes home and is bounced to the plate, off to the right, and Drew Millis with a backhanded block to keep it in front of him. No threat on the base paths as of now. They're empty for the Braves. And it's now a 1-2 count to Prado. (1-2) going to be fouled straight back. And that should keep the count at 1-2, although the scoreboard out here at Dorn Park reads 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-strike offering. Going to be right back up the middle, and putting a glove out instinctually was Ryan Garcia, but it shoots right past it and into center field for a base hit. Prado battles back after being down 0-2. He comes back with a single. With 1 out, there's a man on first ahead of Chase Murray.
Stay off the dugouts, away from the batting cages, and out of the bullpen areas. Thank you.
Murray is already 1 for 1 today. He doubled and scored back in the first inning. This guy who's done all kinds of damage against the Gatemen this year. A couple of RBI in the 5-3 win Monday. A leadoff homer the first time these two teams met this year here at Dorn Park off of Mason Fioli in his last start with Wareham. And already 1 for 1 today. He fouls the first pitch off to the left and out of play. Here's the 0-1. Got on a miss and a breaking ball from Garcia down in the dirt. So, like Prado before him, Chase Murray is down in the count 0-2. Pickoff throw, no slide and no tag applied, trying to keep Prado honest over there at first base. Prado at UConn did have 18 stolen bases, 18 of 24, and this one's on the ground to second, on to second for 1, and then on to first. They cannot complete the double play. Just in there by a step is Chase Murray. On the slow roller, though, Paven Parks is able to knock the man out at second. The lead runner's gone, and there's 2 outs now and a man on first, ahead of Jared Triolo. So 4-6 fielder's choice puts Murray on at first. And Triolo, the right-handed hitting first baseman out of the University of Houston, has already started his tear that he normally goes on against the Gatemen today. An RBI double in the first inning. He's driven in the only run for Bourne today. First pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike from Garcia. Triolo also doing damage to the rest of the league. The sophomore from Austin, Texas, is hitting .324 on the summer. In his second year with the Braves, he is going to cut on this one and foul it straight back to the backstop. And for the third straight hitter, he's quickly behind 0-2 to Ryan Garcia. Garcia shakes off a few signs from Millis. And before the 0-2 is made, he will throw on down to check on Chase Murray this time, who stands at first base. Murray not much of a threat on the base paths for the Braves. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back once again, so Triolo stays in that count. No balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned it's his second year on the Cape with the Braves. Gatemen fans will remember did some damage against Wareham in the playoffs last year in the Western Division Finals. Had 2 multi-hit games, 2 multi-RBI games in the 2-game sweep for Bourne. 0-2, he's going to reach out in this one. It's going to be in play and into shallow right center field, and moving over is Pavin Parks towards the line, will make the catch for out number 3. So the Braves leave one stranded, and don't cut into that Gatemen lead. It is 5-1 Wareham as we head to the 4th.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone, a home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
To the 4th inning we go. Jeremy Idens will start things off, top of the order for the Gatemen, who are trying to build on a 5-1 lead here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside me is Henrique DeMore. I'm Cameron Stewart. It's been a tough go of it for Brian Horing so far. A run in the first, 3 in the second, and a run in the third for Wareham. The first pitch is going to miss down low for Idens. 4-1, 1-0. Idens will go after this one down in the bottom outside corner for a swing and a miss and a strike 1. A ball and a strike is the count. He tripled to lead things off in the first inning, came around to score, and then struck out his last time up, but Lyle Lynn airmailed a throw down to first base, and Idens got all the way to third, and 2 runs were able to score. 2-1 is the count after that last pitch miss, so 2 runs for Idens on the day. This one running inside. So 3-1 is now the count to the Gatemen left fielder. Guy who played a lot of right field before Brian Packard got the call to Team USA has made the seamless switch to left and takes a good pitch off the outside corner. So he will trot down to first base. He is on base for the 3rd time today as he leads off the 4th inning. He's on with nobody out, and Pavin Parks will get his 3rd crack at it today.
Doing a heck of a job so far is Idens of just getting on base, like you said. And going back to what you said about the weirdly scored runs, still a pretty good game for Hoeing as he steps back in for his 4th inning of work. But credit Ryan Garcia, he shut down a very potent Bourne Braves offense. These have been low-scoring games between these 2 teams, but they can score in bunches when they need to.
Count is 0-1 to Parks, who was 0 for 1 today. RBI ground out in the first and a walk in the second. He chases this pitch down low and away. Unable to connect, he's down in the count 0-2. Parks coming in today with a .217 average in his limited time on the Cape. And we'll sky this one to shallow center field. Murray is coming in, Prado's coming out, and it's Murray, the center fielder, coming in on the ball, calls off his shortstop, and will make the catch for out number 1. Trotting back to first is Jeremy Idens. after that, Austin Shenton will come up. The man on base yet again for him. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked in the first and then struck out with the runners at the corners in the second inning. So unable to add to that 15 RBI on the year. He's going to sock this one into right field. One hops in there for a base hit. So Shenton going to build on that 422 average. He's on with a single. Idens moves down to second. And there's a couple of runners on ahead of Lyle Lockhart here in the fourth inning.
Like you mentioned, Shenton now with a 1 for 2 performance today, along with that walk, continues to build on that unbelievable batting average. I mean, to sustain this pace for what's now the Gatemen's 22nd game of the year, exactly at the halfway point, really incredible what he's been able to do. Pushes it to 424 now. That's part of the reason Shenton is so good. He doesn't try to do too much. Like I said, he does have the 1 home run on the year, but he hits it where it's pitched. He just tries to lift it, line drives, doesn't try to uppercut, do any of that fancy stuff, tries to hit the ball hard, line drives, ground balls.
So now Lyle Lockhart will step in. This pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. He's 0 for 2 today. He's flown out to the opposite field both times as he bats right. Excuse me, left, and is flown out to left. This one is going to be down low. They appeal down to the second base umpire, and it looked like Lockhart held up in plenty of time, but instead they offer that he went around.
That's an interesting call. Maybe his hands broke that front plane of the plate, but everything else was completely fine.
So now he's down 0-2 and will ground this one to the first baseman. It's a fair ball, and it's going to get through his glove. So coming around to score is Idens, and now they are going to send Shenton, the trail runner. He will get there after the ball is fumbled in right field. Lyle Lockhart's going to get all the way to third. Some more defensive woes on the right side of the Bourne infield. Brings 2 more runs home, gets Lyle Lockhart to third base, and now a 7-1 score.
Wow. That is tough. I mean, you take it any way you can get it. Fact of the matter is, the Bourne Braves do just have 1 run, so even without these flukes, like I mentioned before, Gatemen would still be ahead. But now a really comfortable 7-1 lead as the infield and the coach and the coaching staff coalesce on the field. I imagine this would be the end of Hoeing's day, but it is good that the entire infield's there. They've got to get their heads in the game. A lot of needless throws, just sloppy defense from Bourne.
It sure is going to be a quick and painful night for Brian Hoering. He exits with 1 out in the fourth. 7-1 our score. We'll give you the new pitcher when we come back from Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamming.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
The 80 Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soils is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit 80makepeace.com or reedcustomsoils.com.
At E.L. Morse Lumber, commitment to the customer shines through in every aspect of their daily operations, including their competitive prices, complete product selection, and superior customer care. Visit E.L. Morse Lumber, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham, for service with a personal touch.
We are back here in the fourth inning from Doran Park in Bourne. Just 1 gone in the frame, and the Gatemen have opened up a 7-1 lead over their arch rivals, the Bourne Braves. New pitcher for Bourne is Kyle Martin from Fordham, an 0-2 record in 6 appearances this year, 5.58 ERA, although he does have 2 saves, and has allowed 6 earned runs in his 9 2/3 innings pitched, has walked 7, and has struck out 13, and opponents hitting just 206 off of him, with a whip of 1.4.
Bit of a Jekyll and Hyde year indeed for Mr. Martin out of Fordham. It seems like, I mean, with an 0-2 record, he's come into some tough situations and clearly not gotten the better of it. But like you said, too, saves that 206 opponent batting average is really encouraging. But opponent slugging just a $194. That's even rarer. But with that 6.52 ERA and a 145 WHIP, it's been the short outings that have gotten the better of him in his last one-inning appearances, giving up 5 earned runs total.
And so we do have a scoring on the Lyle Lockhart play. It will not go down as an error on Spencer Horwitz. It'll be a straight-up triple for the designated hitter, Lyle Lockhart. 2 runs come in to score, so he gets 2 RBI for it. And now Luke Roscom will come up with Lockhart at third. And the infield in once again. Takes the first pitch down low and outside. 4-ball, 1-1-0. Martin's 1-0 is going to run inside, and backing off of it is Roscom, but it is going to catch the corner of the plate. So it'll be a called strike 1, a ball and a strike to the new Gatemen first baseman, getting his first at-bat tonight after Parker Phillips was hit by a pitch and knocked out of the game in the 3rd inning. This one going to miss down low to Roscom. He's ahead of the count 2-1. For Lyle Lockhart, those were RBIs number 8 and 9 on the year to make it 7-1 game as it stands right now. This one up in the hands of Luke Roscom, so he lays off and he's further ahead of the count, 3-1. It's the 3rd time today the Braves have had to pull the infield in. Hasn't exactly saved them as they're still down 6 runs. 3-1 going to miss down low below the knees, and Roscom in his first plate appearance tonight for Wareham will draw a 1-out walk. He's down to first base ahead of Drew Millis.
Tough start for Kyle Martin. 7 walks on the year in 9 innings of work, not where that wants to be, but 13 strikeouts like you had mentioned, Cam. He's a hard thrower, a live arm, but the command has been a little bit of an issue. And you see that just in the rest of the numbers is reflected there as well as 6.51 ERA. But the Gatemen well in control of this one.
So now Drew Millis will stand in with runners at the corners. We'll take the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike 1 to him. He's 1 for 2 today after being robbed of a hit by Gabe Holt in the 2nd inning in right field. He singled up the middle his last time up in the 3rd. 0-1, he's going to bounce to the right side. Fitzgerald will turn on to second for 1, on to first, and beating out.
Are you hungry? Visit the concession stand for some new menu items. Try fried dough, chicken fingers, or french fries along with your regular favorites, hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, and ice cream. Proceeds from the concession stand support the Gatemen and the Wareham High DECA program.
And now we're back for the bottom of the 4th after a very odd situation keeps a run off the board for the Gatemen, although they still hold a 7-1 lead. So we have received word that it was interference called on Luke Roscom sliding into second base. Vehemently argued that. So still 7 runs for the Gatemen on 7 hits.
I guess.
It's an odd one to chalk up, and in between innings we had the scoreboard operators for Bourne go through the entire scoreboard to get it back to 7 runs, and as it says right now, it's 8. We're gonna need to have some conversations here, Enrique.
Yeah,
this half inning.
I mean, it's been a weird game, and we're not even halfway through this one. I mean, the bottom line stays the same, though. The Gatemen have been dominant through and through. Ryan Garcia is having a really good day on the bump as he gets a swing and a miss there as well to move it to 0-2. A little bit of a weird one. We've seen lots of defensive miscues, and now Luke Roscom being called for interference. And like you said, the scoreboard operator went through all the trouble because they gave us the run. They gave Wareham the run, rather.
Swing and a miss here by Spencer Brickhouse. Hate to interrupt you there, Enrique, but that is another strikeout, the 3rd of the day for Garcia, the second of Brickhouse, and it's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. Lyle Lynn is the other strikeout victim on the day. He's the catcher for Bourne, and he steps in now with the bases empty and 1 out. Brickhouse and Lynn went back-to-back Ks back in the first inning to end things. This one going to miss down low for ball 1. The lights have just come on here at Doran Park as the clouds start to set over Bourne. First time we've seen this many clouds all day. This one is going to run outside and a bit low to Lynn, the catcher, who's ahead of the count 2-0.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere, a pretty good day. Temperatures in the high 80s and clear otherwise, but
this one's going to be popped up to shallow left center, and it's the shortstop Kreidler who's well out onto the outfield grass, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning.
But to wrap up there, I mean, happy to have you here listening with us on the YouTube live stream. And depending on where you're listening from, you know just how darn hot it has been these last few days. It doesn't show really any signs of slowing down. Getting to the end of the heat wave here, but it was a very hot 4th of July, very hot couple days beforehand. And for the temperature to be where it is right now at 7 o'clock, this is fantastic.
It has certainly become very comfortable. I know our guys here before the game, there's not a lot of shade at Doran Park, and it was beaten down on us for a couple of hours with the temperature still in the low 90s, high 80s, but has settled into a very beautiful Cape Cod night. 1-0 is going to miss up high to Spencer Horwitz, who got a bit lucky in that last half inning. Lyle Lockhart's ground ball got by his glove, and because he never touched it, it went down as a triple and not a Spencer Horwitz error. Take this about knee high and on the inside corner for a called strike. 2-1 is the new count.
Yeah, a bit of a 50-50 call. It did take a little bit of a weird hop. Not sure if it hit the bag at first base or bounced over it or what. Seemed like that play should have been made, though, and then a little more shenanigans out there in right field as that one catches the inside corner, evens the count. But I guess if you're looking at the silver lining, it is a bit of a win-win. Lyle Lockhart gets a triple to add to his record, and no one gets hit with an error on the Bourne side of things. They already have the 1.
2-2 is going to be roped into right field and will drop in for a base hit. So with that 291 average, Horwitz trying to get back up to 300, is now 1 for 2 today. He gets on with a 2-out single ahead of Tyler Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald really scuffling as of late. In the 3 days between these two teams playing each other, his average dropped 45 points. From 355 down to a still very respectable 310. And he's 0 for 1 today. He flew out to right field back in the second. This one is a beautiful breaking pitch. Buckles in there knee high to Fitzgerald for a called strike 1. Garcia's 0-1 home is going to miss down low, evens things at a ball and a strike. So still that 310 average for him on the year coming into the day. Also 5 doubles, a homer, and 13 RBI for Fitzgerald. This one just below his kneecaps and will miss just a little bit further down from where the first pitch was from Garcia in this at-bat. Fitzgerald's ahead of the count 2-1. Sophomore from Louisville takes a big cut at an off-speed pitch on the outer half and is unable to connect. So with 2 outs and a man aboard, count now stands at 2-2. Garcia to the belt. Here's that 2-2 home. Down in the dirt and trying to backhand it was Millis, and it's going to get back to the brick backstop here at Doran Park. And moving down to second base is the first baseman, Spencer Horwitz. And with a full count and 2 outs in the inning, the Braves have a man in scoring position.
Big pitch coming up here. Tyler Fitzgerald trying to break out of a bit of a slump. Had no for the last time these two teams played. And that leadoff spot against Hyannis extended that 0 for 4, so now 0 for his last 9. But a dangerous hitter. Before that, he was hitting .480 over a 5-game stretch.
Payoff pitch is going to be left up high, about letter high to Fitzgerald, and he'll foul it off down the third base line, so that's where the count will stay. It's the first time the Braves have had a runner in scoring position since the first inning, after the Jared Triolo RBI double brought in their only run of the day, made things 1-1 at the time. Now 7-1 in Wareham's favor. .3-2 is going to run up high above the helmet of Fitzgerald, and he will trot down to first base. Garcia loses him. And with first base open, he heads down there. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. We'll bring out a meeting with Drew Millis as catcher, ahead of Oscar Serratos.
Still just the first walk given up by Rivera, but he does look a little shakier command-wise. These last couple at-bats, a couple hard-hit balls, a couple have gone foul, but just the 4th hit given up. So Garcia's still safe, although the way things have started to get a little worrisome at the end of this inning, I wonder if this will be his last one.
First offering to Serratos is going to be skied foul up above the Gatemen dugout. A strong run over there for Luke Roscom goes for naught. As it stands right now, a couple of guys are starting to get loose down in the Gatemen bullpen. But right now it's 0-1 count to the left fielder Oscar Serratos. With 2 men on and 2 men gone, he's going to bounce this one to a charging Kreidler at short. He will throw over and make the out that retires the side. Garcia leaves 2 more stranded, and it's still 7-1 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Bay Point Golf Club offers a unique collection of 18 championship golf holes, a beautiful banquet facility, and a club host that has a fully stocked pro shop. The Bay Point Grill is a perfect place to grab a meal or watch a game. The course is located off of Onset Avenue in Buzzards Bay. The Gatemen thank you for your support.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
The second inning of relief for Kyle Martin, as he came in with 1 out in the 4th. And we'll start things off in the top of the 5th with Ryan Kreidler, who made the nice charging play at shortstop to end the last half inning. First pitch to him, bit of a sidearm offer there from Kyle Martin. Will bounce outside, and laying off it is Kreidler for ball 1. Kreidler walked back in the second, grounded into a double play in the third, but that time it brought a run home. This one's going to go back up the middle. A diving stop there at second base by Fitzgerald. Loops a throw over to Horwitz at first, and a nifty little play will retire Ryan Kreidler for the first out of the 5th.
Very well timed by Fitzgerald. He slid almost like he was on ice. No hang-ups or anything. He didn't get tripped up, and popped up seamlessly and fired over to first base.
So now Isaac Collins will step up. He's got a couple of hits today, 2 for 2 in the number 8 hole and playing right field. for the Creighton Blue Jay. Takes the first pitch in there for a called strike right down the pipe. And he's behind 0-1. 1 out, and the base is empty here in the 5th inning. Third baseman Triolo is in on the infield grass against the left-hander. This one will run outside. Collins takes it. It's a 1-1 count, excuse me.
In the return of Parker Phillips, we see the 3-4-5 getting a little more defined. And Isaac Collins has been producing from the bottom of the lineup, but the 2 spot, I think, is still a little bit in flux. We've got Pavin Parks in there today.
This one going to be knee-high and catching the inside corner. Collins doesn't like the call, but it's a called strike 2 on him.
But to wrap up that point I was making, if Parks doesn't produce from the top of the lineup and Isaac Collins continues to produce from the bottom, we may see him moved up to the 2 spot. He is the prototypical 2-hole hitter. But wherever these two land, a lot of depth offensively in both the top and bottom of the lineup as that one is shot foul.
It is a spot we saw Collins in the preseason for the Gatemen before many of their regulars came over. It was Oliver Dunn 1 and Isaac Collins 2. So it is a spot he is familiar with. It's behind in the count 1-2 now with 1 out, and the base is empty. He's going to rope this one into left field, right over the leaping Triolo. And have a day so far, Isaac Collins in the 8 spot. He is 3 for 3 with 3 hard-hit singles for Wareham.
Love to see it. We've talked about how there have been times when the top or bottom of the Gatemen lineup seems to not want to show up. Sometimes you get one and not the other. Sometimes you get just one guy. Often we see Sahid Valenzuela have a great day when nobody else seems to be able to get the bats going. But Isaac Collins producing single after single after single to left and center field against 2 right-handed batters, but he can bat from both sides of the plate with success.
And now coming into the game at 250 for Isaac Collins, a 3 for 3 bumps him up to 323 on the year.
Atta kid.
He is above that elusive 300 mark. Count is 1-0 to the center fielder Skylar Hunter. And he takes this one low and away and makes things 2-0. Hunter's another guy who's brought up his average today with the single, RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Brings him up to 147 on the year. Squares to bunt but pulls it back, and the pitch is in the strike zone for a called strike 1, 2-1 now the count. Little interesting to be sacrificing him over there with 1 out. Triolo is and has been in on the grass to all the lefties tonight, so you're not catching him deep or anything.
And aside from the fact that Skylar Hunter has been struggling at the plate, but, you know, a good 1 for 2 day today, but in general, and the fact that he is a good bunter, aside from those 2 points, I don't know why the heck you're playing small ball when you're up 6. It seems odd.
Seems like a good opportunity for Hunter to get some free swings in, but he needs a pitch to hit. He takes this one down low as well, so he's ahead of the count 3-1. His other at-bat in the 3rd, he flew out to center field, but he really hit it on the knob.
Mm-hmm.
And that wind blowing from center to left probably held it in the ballpark. This one is going to be a called strike 2, and the runner goes. Collins is in down at second base easily. A 1-hop throw from Lyle Lynn wasn't that bad, but Collins got a great jump, and it's a pretty slow move to the plate for Kyle Martin. Because of that, Collins is now in scoring position, but a full count to Skylar Hunter.
And believe it or not, that is Isaac Collins' first stolen base of the year. We've seen him advance a bunch on wild pitches, pass balls, etc. But that is the first time he has actually stolen a base. He's been caught once, so 1 for 2 statistically on attempts from the speedy middle infielder, right fielder, utility man.
Here's the full count offering. He's going to foul it off to the right and out of play, does Hunter. So that's where the count stays. So Gatemen will stay out of the double play here with Collins at 2nd and 1 out. So no sacrifice needed anyway, but it's a 3-2 count, and this one's going to run inside. And on base for the 2nd time today is Skylar Hunter. He trots down with a walk ahead of Jeremy Idens.
That was not a bad pitch there from Martin on the full count offering. And a good frame behind the play from Lyle Lynn, but So the catcher's job to sell it with the frame, and sometimes when that comes inside and you don't like it, Skylar Hunter sold it well with a little hip jab backwards. Exactly, he was getting out of the way of that one. And again, my depth perception is okay at best. Part of the reason I peaked in high school athletically, but didn't look like that was too far off the plate there out of the hand of Martin.
First pitch to Idens is going to be fouled straight back and out of play. He has been all over the stat sheet for the Gatemen today. A triple, a drop third strike got him to third and brought a couple runs home in the second, and then a walk his last time up in the fourth. So 1 for 2 today. A couple of runs scored for the Gatemen left fielder. He's got a chance to add on to his totals here. Runners at first and second. 1 out. The 0-1 home to him is fooling Idens and will be a strike called on the outside corner. I think he was sitting fastball and got the breaking ball there from Martin. So he's confused and he's down on the count, 0-2. Martin's 0-2 home. Going to be down low, not offering at it is Idens, so he stays in there. The 1-2 now. Pretty good looking pitch on the outside corner, but it's just going to miss. And Idens is counting his blessings with a 2-2 count.
Yeah, a little cut piece there, it looked like, from Martin, as it did tail away from the right-hander Idens. But like you said, Cam, really not by much. Gutsy take on 1-2 from the leadoff guy.
2-2. Idens is going to rip this one into left center field. A base hit. Being waved around and coming home to score is Isaac Collins. A check on the runner at second on a big turn by Skylar Hunter. They're going to gun him down. Hunter a bit too ambitious. He's thrown out at second, but the run will still score. Isaac Collins is in there for the 8th one of the day.
Bang bang play there at second base. Like you said, Skylar Hunter just getting a little overzealous. He went out there, took an aggressive turn around second, like you're supposed to do. Maybe might have been a little too far, try to challenge the arm of Serratos, but a really quick throw out there from the Bourne Braves left fielder. And I think I don't know if he beat the throw there, but it was a heck of a slide from Hunter. Really close play. Don Stednar out there in the field umpire's face for the second time today after the questionable Luke Roscom interference call. So we'll see what comes of this. But Don Snedden's still out there yamming at the field umpire.
Nothing usually does come of this, does it?
It really doesn't, no. And now we see Don Snedden will take his sweet time walking back to the dugout.
But a point needs to be proven.
Yeah.
Definitely a very questionable play on the Roscom interference. This one we didn't get a great look at from our vantage point, both the umpire and the pitcher, blocking our view down to second base. But nonetheless, Hunter is retired, and Snedden has retired to his bench. And there's 2 gone and a man at first for Pavin Parks. Parks has yet to record a hit today, 0 for 2, but with an RBI and a walk. He's going to foul this one straight back to the screen. Down in the count, 0-1. With 2 outs, here's the 0-1. Parks is going to rope it down the right field line. It's going to be a fair ball. Could go for extra bases. Parks on his way to second. They're rounding Idens. Idens is coming home. They will have no play at the plate. He'll score standing up. A 2-out RBI double for Pavin Parks makes it 9-1 Gatemen here in the 5th inning.
Gatemen have now scored, well, not now, but they have continued to score every single inning. Something on the scoreboard for Wareham. Like you said, 9 runs now on 10 hits. This feels a lot like that Katua game. The only difference is they got the long ball going in the second half of things. But just a lot of hard hit balls. No cheapos, but just a lot of hard hit line drives that are getting hit in the right spots in the infield, over the heads of guys. And of course, sloppy defense from Bourne, but not as much these last 2 innings. It was really just Brian Hoeing that was really betrayed by his defense.
Now with 2 outs in the inning after the RBI double, Austin Shenton takes a pitch on the inside corner knee high for a called strike. Shenton is 1 for 2 on the day. Walk, a strikeout, and a single. And he'll pop this one out to left field. Oscar Serrato started out, now comes in, and will camp under it for the 3rd out. But a couple more for the Gatemen as they just keep on padding that lead. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it's 9-1 Wareham here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places.
Whatever your goals may be, Joe Crespi and the Merrill Lynch of Taunton will work with you to develop a customized financial strategy designed to help you pursue what's important to you. Managing your wealth and listening to you is their top priority.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Get Gatemen gear. Check out the latest styles and colors of your favorite Gatemen apparel. Also in stock, a large selection of Cape League items, including tickets to the All-Star Game. Test your pitching speed and pick up a souvenir ball, all at our merchandise booth.
Back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Gatemen 9-1 over the Braves right now. And for the play-by-play duties for the rest of the game, I'm going to toss it over to my broadcast partner, Henrique Demore.
Thank you very much, Cam. Like you said, entering the bottom of the 5th inning, it is 9-1 Gatemen. The Bats have come alive, and they have stayed alive through the July 4th break. Clearly, no hold-up, no balking, literal or metaphorical, from these Gatemen. And more interestingly, Ryan Garcia will continue his work on the bump, has 65 pitches coming into this inning. Remember that Orleans outing, obviously that was his debut. It was fantastic. 9 strikeouts through 4 innings of work and hit 81 on the pitch count. So I imagine this will be his last inning of work, assuming he gets through it pretty routinely. Struggled to get the last couple outs in the last inning, but delivers ball 1 here to Gabe Holt, up and in to the left-handed bat. Just finished his freshman year at Texas Tech. Accolades all around. First team All Big 12. 350 in his freshman campaign. Cuts and fouls that one off. 1-1.
Holt in the number 9 slot today. It's always weird to see a guy getting just his second at bat after 10 runs have already been scored and there's been 14 hits.
No, I hear you, and it's been a very messy-looking scorebook on one side of things, but for Bourne, Garcia has worked really methodically. 4 men left on base, 4 hits, 1 run surrendered. It was earned. He's back in the first inning, back-to-back doubles by Chase Murray and Jared Triolo to then tie the game up, rip and a miss at that one. Good fastball from Garcia. When he can set up that fastball well upstairs, it really is deadly. Garcia shakes off his catcher, Drew Millis. Now goes to the plate. That one upstairs fouled off. We'll do it again. Count remains even.
It looks like Garcia's had Holt guessing a few times. The swing and the miss, he really had him swinging out of his shoes and had to adjust the swing to protect the plate there.
From the windup, Garcia deals. 2-2 swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 4th strikeout of the day for Garcia. That one brought to you, of course, by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. And Garcia seems like the high strikeout volume game in Orleans was an anomaly, but the solid pitching performance was not.
Yeah, I mean, he left a couple of guys on base in that game. We remember it was tight until Orleans pulled away for a 10-4 victory in the 7th inning and later for them. They scored in each of the last 2. But he's really looked comfortable today. He hasn't, even with a run brought in the first inning, he really hasn't looked uncomfortable or stressed out in any of the moments. He's had solid play defensively behind him as well, and that can always make it easier for a starting pitcher.
And to add on to that, the bottom of the lineup has been ineffective for Bourne in a day where, yes, the entire lineup has only scrambled together 4 hits, as that one misses upstairs, leaving the count at 1-1. But the bottom of the lineup, he's been coasting through 7, 8, 9 with no base knocks, but 1 through 3, combined 3 hits for them. So it'll be interesting to see as Garcia starts to wear out here what he can do in this fifth inning. Obviously a 9-1 deficit. Pretty tough to overcome, but Garcia's got to be feeling pretty good. 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball, foul ground, first base side. That'll get over the dugout. 2-2 with one out and the bases empty in the bottom of the fifth. Anthony Prado is 1 for 2 today. One of those 1-2-3 guys with a base knock. Chase Murray 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Jared Triola 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. The 2-2, Garcia from the windup. Swinging another foul to the screen. We'll do it again. Count remains even. Should the score line hold? Well, should the result hold, really? Gatemen will bounce back from, like you said in the pregame show, Cam, 0-2 record against their rival Braves. That one looped weakly into shallow left center field. Coming over on it, both middle infielders, they both leaped. Someone made the catch, and it was Ryan Kreidler who came away with it, the shortstop from UCLA. A stunning lack of communication in the middle infield, but they got lucky there.
Is it just something in this park when these two teams meet? Ryan Kreidler has like the magic touch. It was his hit up the middle that actually knocked Anthony Prado, the batter who just hit, out of the game a couple weeks ago. He and Greg Kissinger knocked into each other on a ground ball, which I've never seen before.
No.
And they narrowly avoided one on a fly ball there, did the Gatemen.
Hey, got to be talking out there as Pavin Parks and Ryan Kreidler darn near collided. They both went up. They both came down, one of them with the ball, but it could have very easily been a lot uglier. That one in the dirt, 1-0 to Chase Murray. Like I said, 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the first inning. But these two teams do play 3 more times this year. That one hit sharply into deep left field. Iden's going back on it, reaches up. He made the catch! Oh my goodness, Jeremy Idens with the catch of the year to take away extra bases from Chase Murray. Laid out, went sideways, horizontal, made a catch at the fence. My goodness. You might see that one on SportsCenter later. Wow.
Certainly deserved to see that one. That was the shades of Carl Yastrzemski at Yankee Stadium back in 1967. Left fielder going back over his head, dives for the catch. What a way to end the inning.
And that will end the inning. Like you said, Cam, got so caught up in the catch, I didn't realize the Gatemen got out of the inning. No one scores, no one does much of anything against Ryan Garcia. Still 9-1 Gatemen here from Bourne Park.
And can be purchased at the souvenir stand.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Gatemen Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, we are proud to sponsor the Gatemen Youth Clinic for 2018. Robertson's GMC. We are professional grade. Power like a pro.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
Welcome back, 9-1 Gatemen here at Bourne Park. The only bad thing about the catch that Jeremy Idens made is that it wasn't visible on camera. Audio-only broadcast here on the road. My goodness. Got the Gatemen out of a 1-2-3 inning. Ryan Garcia effective as ever as his pitch count runs to 79 on the day. Imagine that'll be the end of the day for him. While Lockhart takes strike 1. Man, oh man, we talked about how the wind has been so nasty out there in left field. Idens had no issue with it. Strike 2 at the letters. Lockhart down in the count here. It'll be 4-5-6 for the Gatemen. Lockhart Jr., followed by Luke Roscom and Drew Millis. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Lockhart batting from the left side. takes a strike at the letters. Got him on strikes. First of the day for Kyle Martin. We got one away here in the 6th inning.
Tough pitch for Lockhart. We've seen him go down on that ball a couple times this year. He's not comfortable reaching out of the outer half of the plate, knows his power is inside. And even with 2 strikes, he doesn't like going out there, and it comes back to bite him that time.
Luke Roscom steps in. Walked his first time up, as he did pinch run in the game today. So he's got a run to his name, but takes ball 1 low. Pinch ran for Parker Phillips back in the 3rd inning. Bit of a bummer. I mean, Parker Phillips, freshly activated like we were talking about. Came back from the home run derby, or home run hitting contest, I should say. For the collegiate players of the country, and just back, and he got drilled on the hand by a pitch. We don't know the result of that. Swing and a miss, way out ahead of that one. 1-1.
Yeah, and on Pavin Parks, just a 185 average coming into today on the year. Looked like that could be a good reset for him during the season, taking basically the weekend off from Gatemen Baseball and having a trip out to Omaha with a bunch of guys who participated in that derby from the Cape League. We saw Thomas Dillard also from Cotuit participated in it.
Roscom puts a charge into that one, into left center field for a base hit. It took a funny hop over the hand of Oscar Serratos into second with a stand-up double. Is Luke Roscom. That's now the 2nd time we've seen a ball that it was hit in sort of a hooked flight path. It wasn't a straight flight path, and it took a weird hop, and Serratos just straight up overran it, tried to save it with his bare right hand, reached up at the last second, got some fingertips on it, but it got over his head. 1 out double for Roscom, and now Drew Millis bats with a man in scoring position.
Yeah, it wasn't all that great by Serranos anyway. I don't think he took a very good route to the ball, heading towards second base on that one, and he comes back to bite him with that odd hop. He tries to barehand it, just hops over. But for the 2nd time on a play like that, we saw with the Lyle Lockhart triple as well, it's going to go down as a straight hit for Luke Roscom, so a double for him.
Yeah, like you said, some odd scorings as the conditions here haven't quite helped things. You can hear the wind in our microphones even. We're doing our best here, but sometimes you can't fight the elements. Left fielders learning that today on both sides. 1-1 count evens to Millis. Runner on second, 1 out for the catcher, Drew Millis. The offering, that one's weakly hit. Foul down the first baseline. So that was ruled a single. Changed to a single for Luke Roscom, advancing on something. Not officially an error yet, but I imagine down the line maybe. Yep, and now the 2nd error goes up on the scoreboard. So it was ruled an error by Serratos. Like he said, Cam just didn't really take a good route to the ball. I think there's definitely a case to be made for the error call there. That one fouled off, 1-2.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Single and an error. Roscom, of course, was going to get on base anyway with that. He had no doubt that he was going to hold it first had that been played cleanly out there by Serratos.
Now Millis with an opportunity to put on the Gatemen's 10th run of the day. 1-2 pitch. That one low and in. 2-2 the count to Millis. Gatemen were off yesterday, but 2 days ago at Lowell Park, the struggles in the West Division continued for the Cotuit Kettleers. They dropped to 1-6-1 against West Division opponents as the Gatemen smacked them around 8-1 on the back of a fantastic Joey Matulovic start. That one low and away, full count to Millis. And it was Drew Millis who actually started in right field to allow Gian Martellini to catch. And what a good thing it was he was in the lineup. Not that it would have mattered for the end result, but for his stat line, a 3-run shot against his former team. He played for the Kettleers last year. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 2 in this inning, 2 in the outing for Kyle Martin. Now with 2 down, Kreidler will be the Gatemen's last hope to get something across in this inning.
Yeah, Millis guessing one thing and got the other there with 2 strikes. Tries his best. Knows he's got to protect that plate, try and put something in play and move up a runner further into scoring position, but just can't do it that time.
Sometimes, as a hitter, that's the best you can do, is guess. When you guess right, sometimes you look like a genius, and when you guess wrong, well, that's why succeeding 3 times out of 10 puts you in the Hall of Fame. 9-1 Gatemen. Roscom at second. First pitch, hard fastball down the middle. Kyle Martin set, holds a glove about neck high, kicks, fires. That one in the dirt, got away from Lynn. So Roscom moves over to third base easily. And now the 10th run of the day, just 90 feet away.
And that's one Lynn has to have in front of home, or excuse me, behind home plate there. Bounce on the inside half, and it's a pretty easy one for most catchers to block. He just blocks it incorrectly. Shifts it out to the backstop behind towards the first base side, allowing Roscom to get up easily.
So Roscom been given 2 bases here. Result of defensive miscues. That one upstairs, 2-1 to Kreidler. Kreidler over for 2 today, but has scored. Came across on that drop third strike to Jeremy Idens that Lyle Lynn airmailed into right field. After a fantastic debut, the bat has cooled off a little bit, but still hitting a respectable 250. The 2-1 pitch. Gatemen shortstop takes it up and in. Really nice pitch there from Kyle Martin. Caught just enough of the zone late break on that curveball. 2-2, 2 down. Roscom at third base. The Gatemen lead it 9-1. 9 runs on 11 hits, no errors for your Gatemen. 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors for the Bourne Braves. The 2-2. Upstairs, count goes full. Kreidler comes set, so does Martin. Left foot twitching and finally settling for the Bourne Braves pitcher. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Kyle Martin strikes out the side. Sophomore from Fordham puts in good work and strands Luke Roscom. We go to the bottom of the 6th from Doran Park. 9-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Make sure you are entered in the 50-50 raffle. Tickets are still available at the table in front of concessions.
First zero.
Nice prizes.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Stop by the Ansel S.
9-1 the score. The Wareham Gatemen in front of the Bourne Braves here at Doran Park. Couple of other games going on around the Cape as well. Furthest game along right now, the Falmouth Commodores. How about a 17-7 lead over the Katuitt Kettleers at Lowell Park in the top of the 9th. Falmouth has scored 3 runs or more in 6 innings today, including 6 in the top of the 7th. Cameron Cannon has driven in 6 for Falmouth. Out at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks own a slim 7-6 advantage over the YD Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th. Braden Como leads the way for Hyannis. The Rice infielder is 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Meanwhile, at White House Field, the Harwich Mariners lead the Brewster Whitecaps 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Aaron Shunk and Ben Norman each have an RBI for Harwich. And finally, at Eldridge Park in Orleans, the Firebirds with an early 3-0 lead against the Chatham Anglers in the bottom of the 3rd. Sal Gazzo's solo homer and Carter Aldretti's 2-run double have been the difference makers for Orleans. Here at Doran Park, 9-1, the Gatemen lead. New pitcher on the mound for Wareham, and here to bring you the rest of the play-by-play, Cameron Stewart and Henrique Demore. Take it away.
95.1 FM. More details at Fairway Financial.
Thank you very much, JD Automatic, as always, with those updates. But how about those Commodores? My goodness, languishing in the first quarter, first third of the year, in dead last in the West Division, and the Kettleers can't seem to right the ship. They trail the Commodores 17-7. My goodness. Another game, as JD said, worth watching. Hyannis and YD, pair of really good teams from each division. Hyannis chasing the Gatemen in first place. 7-7, that one at Red Wilson Field. Brewster still can't seem to win. They trail Harwich 2-0. And here, of course, it's 9-1. Ryan Garcia's day is done. New pitcher on the bump for your Gatemen. And this pitching change, of course, brought to you by the Bay Point Club. Onset's 18-hole championship golf course, where the driving range open 7 days a week and senior discounts offered every day, and always welcome to the public. So get to the point. first half inning that the Gatemen have not scored today, but they still lead it by 8 and have out-hit the Bourne Braves by 7, 11-4. And here to make sure that continues is left-hander Easton Lucas. That one was scored ball 1, and an appeal was made to the first base umpire to confirm that, in fact. Ryan Garcia, fantastic day for him. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, scattered just 4 hits over 5 innings of work. Fantastic as always. That one hit about 1.5 miles deep, but foul. Got a hold of it, but couldn't straighten it out. Jared Triolo. He's 1 for 2 with a double down to left field already. Easton Lucas would be wise to leave something on the outside part of the plate for the big right-hander from Houston.
Looks like he may have tweaked his bat there and broken it. Obviously not shattered, but a bit taken off the handle, so he's going to go get a new piece of lumber. Had some good swings with that one, though, today with that RBI double.
No kidding. We'll opt for a jet black weapon. Try to do some damage to Easton Lucan and this Gatemen team. Chip into this 8-run deficit. The Braves were looking to put a definitive 3-0 record on the Gatemen this year, but not looking like that'll be the case. Thought about it. That one low, though, 2-1. And given that the West is such a logjam, these games against good teams like the Braves are going to become all the more important, as already securing at least a tie in the season series against Hyannis as that one is waved on and missed. The Gatemen 3-1 against their second-place counterparts from Hyannis, the only team to ever overtake first place from the Gatemen. But Bourne, better than their record, I believe, anyway. A win here would be great for them. Dribbler up the middle. Easton Lucas gloves it. Over to first in time. That'll retire out number 1. Luke Roscom, of course, a new first baseman. Came on as an offensive and defensive substitution for Parker Phillips back in the 3rd inning.
Always good to retire Triolo if you're a Gatemen pitcher, but to start off an inning with him in your first inning of relief is pretty tough, especially for a guy like Easton Lucas, who's normally used to being a starter, and gets that comebacker and takes the full trip up and down the bump to get to the other side.
So now here with 1 away, Spencer Brickhouse, the batter. Dangerous bat out of ECU, but 0 for 2 today. We've seen him twice this year, but a few days ago on Monday as a breaking ball, little dribbler up to first base. Roscom will flip to his pitcher this time. He'll follow up with 1-3 putout with a 3-1 putout for those of you keeping score at home. 2 away for Lyle Lynn.
And that one might not be a solid piece of lumber for Brickhouse anymore as well. Weird sound and weird deflection of the ball off the bat there. Just went a couple of feet down the line, and Lucas, who finishes on the third base side of the rubber, is able to get over there in time. Very athletic, lanky left-hander on the mound.
First pitch to Lynn, strike on the inside corner. Lynn himself a strikeout victim back in the first inning. 0 for 2 on the day. Like I said, just 4 hits for these Bourne Braves. Came in today with a .280 team batting average. For those of you who don't know, that's pretty impressive. Weekly hit over to Shenton. This should do it. Throw to first comes in time. Easton Lucas, very beautiful 1-2-3 inning. And the Gatemen still lead at 9-1. On to the top of the 7th we go from Doran Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
About 2 hours into this one, at the top of the 7th inning, it is 9-1 Gatemen. Outscored the opposition by 8 and out-hit them by 7, have the Gatemen. Played a clean defensive game. It was a nice turn of events from a couple of sloppy games in the last week for the Gatemen on the defensive side of things, but still retain the #1 ranking statistically as the best defense in the Cape League. Just 16 errors, 16 coming in today and a .979 fielding percentage. Puts them atop the Cape League, like I said. Now to face Kyle Martin still out there. Now has surpassed his starter, Ryan Hoeing, out of Louisville for the total innings count, 3 2/3. 2 2/3. That's my mistake. My math's a little off there. Should he get through this inning, it'll be 3 2/3 for Martin. Running into some trouble, though, has given up a couple of runs. A lot of those tacked on to Ryan Hoeing as Martin came into a sticky situation. Isaac Collins, the batter, he's 3 for 3 today, having the best game of his Cape League summer. Came in today with a .250 batting average. Is hitting .323 now. Takes a strike at the letters to even the count at 1-1. Sophomore out of Creighton has proven that he's a good contact bat, as advertised. Took him a while to get things going and break into the starting lineup. But's getting his 4th start in 5 games now. Has played extremely well, showed really good stuff at the plate, and made every play asked of him in right field. All 4 of those starts coming in right field. Usually a middle infielder at Creighton, and for the first part of the season on the Cape. Now waiting on the 2-1. Swinging a lazy fly ball, foul ground, and it will clang off the fence there. So 2-2 to Collins. A defensive substitution here. Lyle Lynn is out of the game, at least defensively. We'll see what happens on the offensive side of things, but for now it is Thad Phillips behind the plate. Little guy, just 5'7", 190, out of UConn. Just finished up his junior year there. We've seen a little bit of Thad Phillips in the first couple games that these two teams played against each other, but not on Monday. 2-2 to Collins, hard ground ball right side, but Fitzgerald gobbles it up, sends it over to first base. Maybe a scarier throw than Spencer Horwitz would have liked, but he reaches up and corrals it for out #1. You can't win them all. Isaac Collins moves to 3 for 4 on the day, but 2 runs scored and his first stolen base of the year, so having a great day is the sophomore from Creighton. Now the sophomore from Purdue steps in. Skylar Hunter having a pretty good day himself. 1 for 2. RBI single and a run scored. Has walked as well. Was gunned down on some overzealous base running in the 5th inning. That one low and into the Purdue center fielder. But Skylar Hunter, I should say, even in his flyout in the 3rd inning, swing and a miss at that one, 1-1. Hit it a good long way. Gave Chase Murray a run for his money out there in center field. Now the first team all Big Ten tournament selection. Trying to get aboard here, get something going. Trying not to extend the Gatemen scoreless inning streak to 2. They've gotten 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the 4th and 5th as well. The bats have been quiet as of late, and that one way up and away. 3-1 to Hunter. Jeremy Idens waits on deck. He'll go up to the plate for the 5th time this game. 3-1 pitch. He's probably going to want that one back, and Skylar Hunter let go with a bat on his right hand. Bats without batting gloves. Instead of some batting gloves or any of that, he opts for the pine tar in the middle of his bat and some dirt from behind the left fielder batter, or the left-handed batter's box, I should say. 1 out, full count offering, up and away. Skylar Hunter is aboard, a dangerous base runner on the base paths for Wareham. Now Jeremy Idens has something to work with. He is 2 for 3 today. Reached on a drop third strike in the 2nd inning. Has 3 runs and a single and a triple. He's having himself a fantastic day. Really proven that the slump was in fact a fluke. Hitting very consistently here on the Cape. Gotten the strikeouts down, which was a hallmark of the slump that he was in as he shoots that one foul down the first base line. Hunter's walk, his 2nd of the day. Kyle Martin, the sophomore from Fordham, trying to limit the damage here. Keep this at an 8-run deficit for his Braves. 0-1 pitch, lazily thrown in there and shot towards the Gatemen on deck circle. Pavin Parks sticks his head out of the way. 0-2 now to Idens. Martin, his freshman year, a collegiate baseball All-American. Freshman All-American, I should say. And he's the first Fordham Ram to earn that honor since 2011. That one up and away, 1-2, waste pitch. Atlantic 10 all-rookie team. Rookie of the week once and had himself a great freshman campaign as a closer. 2.76 ERA, 6-1 record as well, with a save. That one just low, 2-2. This year another similarly brilliant campaign. 1.62 ERA and 39 innings of work. Kid is impressive, but has struggled here at the Cape. That one fouled off straight back. Gatemen trying to push a win streak to 2. Bourne, should the result hold, we'll have their winning streak. We'll have their losing streak, I should say, pushed to 2. As the only game that they played between the 5-3 win over the Gatemen at Spillane was a loss to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at McKeon Park, a heartbreaker. That saw the Braves go up 4-0 early on, and Hyannis, those pesky Harbor Hawks, they know how to hit. They're in second place for a reason. They scored 6 unanswered runs to shoot ahead of the Braves and keep pace with Wareham, just a point behind them in the standings. Blocked in a good one at YD. That one bounced over to third, could be 2. Over to second. Fitzgerald makes a nifty diving stop to his right to get the 5-4 force out, but over to first is Jeremy Idens. So 2 away for Pavin Parks, doubled his last time up, finally got a hold of one. He'd had a couple balls hit hard, but right to some fielders. Had that home run and that blowout against Hyannis about a week ago. But in his last at-bat anyway, has found a stroke. First offering outside. Austin Shenton on deck. He's 1 for 3. Just another day at the office for him. Has reached base in now 11 straight games and has hit safely in 6. That one tips straight back. Count evens 1-1. Looking ahead for both of these teams, the Gatemen, I should say, tomorrow will take their first trip to Stony Brook. Going out there to face the Brewster Whitecaps for the second time this year. They played them once at Spillane already. A 3-2 extra inning walk-off win against a Brewster team that has just 4 wins on the year. 15 losses, 2 ties as well for the 2017 champions. The defending champs have not been able to muster any kind of success, really, in an East Division that is finally starting to sort itself out. YD emerging as the clear better team as Harwich and Chatham continue to play 500 ball. Chatham 10-10-1, or excuse me, Harwich 10-10-1, Chatham 9-8-2 coming into today. 2-1 upstairs, 3-1. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning, 9-1 Gatemen. Jeremy Idens sits on first base. Reached on a fielder's choice. Spencer Horwitz holding him on. The 3-1 offering. Right down Broadway, and Pavin Parks gives it a ride. That one will one hop the wall in left center field. Serratos gave chase but couldn't get to it. Played it off the wall. Gets the throw in, and another run comes in for Wareham. 10-1 in favor of the road team. Idens scoring all the way from first base. Pavin Parks on a 3-1 pitch did exactly what he wanted to do. Saw one pitch he liked, as he should, looking for one pitch and one pitch only on 2-0 and 3-1. Gave a high outside fastball a ride. Never was my favorite pitch personally, but I guess that's why I'm back here and those guys are in there. Able to hit to all parts of the park with authority. Now a mound visit called by Bourne. We'll see if they go to the bullpen. Kyle Martin, the right-hander, walks off the field. The Fordham Rams' day is done. ERA came in today at the mid-sixes. I imagine he'll leave with about an 8 spot in the ERA column. Pitching change here from Doran Park. 10-1 Gatemen. We'll be right back with the new arm on the bump for Bourne.
Since 1950, Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails. Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Welcome back to Doran Park. Tried to say welcome and Doran at the same time, and that's the noise that came out of my mouth. My apologies. Also a bit overwhelmed by the fact that not only is Kyle Martin's day done, but his replacement is Oscar Serratos. The left fielder has not appeared as a pitcher in a single game in the Cape League this year, but when you're losing by 9, hey, why not? Haven't done much studying of his warm-up pitches yet, but it's not often you see a pitcher with eye black on the bump.
Number 2 from Georgia Tech,
But Oscar Serratos moves from left field into throw.
30 from the University of Hartford, Ashton Bardzell.
And now Ashton Bardzell
Number 25 from the University of Connecticut, Thaddeus Phillips.
Moves to left field. Thad Phillips, like we mentioned, out of UConn behind the plate. So we'll see how things shake out on the offensive side of the lineup card, but that is a problem for later for the Bourne Braves. Now Oscar Serratos throwing his first pitch of the summer, the freshman from Georgia Tech. Sends one right over the heart of the plate. That one fouled off by Shenton. What a tough scenario to come into. Runner in scoring position to the best pure hitter. Definitely in this Gatemen lineup, maybe on the Cape. Batting above 400. He's kept that pace up for, aside from maybe a blip or two. And I mean, when I say a blip, I mean it has lasted one at-bat, maybe two. That one is in the dirt, 1-1. Shenton has sustained this 400 clip for really too long, if you're anyone but a Gatemen fan. At the halfway point this year, 22nd game of the year for the Gatemen, 21st for the Bourne Braves. That one upstairs, 2-1. Serratos, pretty good year offensively this year, but like I said, first appearance as a pitcher on the Cape. That one low as well, 3-1. The Georgia Tech has seen a little bit of action on the bump. That one hit sharply, right side. Another diving stop from Fitzgerald. He pops up, and it bounced out of his glove. Rounding third in a flurry is Paven Parks. He scores the 11th Gatemen run of the day. They just keep on coming for Wareham. Came in it today with a plus, get this, league best, plus 31 run differential. And now push it to 41 as things stand. That is the best margin in the Cape League by a significant chunk. Hyannis, despite being in second place, have a minus 21 run differential. Only one's even close. Bourne at 14 coming into today. Now that'll shoot down to 4. But YD and Chatham plus 13. Both those teams straddling first and third respectively in the East. That one lifted into right center field. Could be trouble off the bat of Lyle Lockhart Jr., and it is. A single bounces into the glove of the center fielder, Chase Murray. Fellow Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. And over to third is Austin Shenton.
Now batting the first baseman, number 14.
Now Luke Roscom will step in. He's 1 for 1. We saw Ashton Bardzell in the ball game, who's now the new left fielder out of Hartford. Had a sacrifice fly as well as a single. A hard hit ball out to Bryant Packard in his last game as a Gateman before being called up to Team USA as an alternate. Bryant Packard likely to return to the Gateman lineup as soon as his Team USA duties are done. That one low to Luke Roscom, 2-0. That one upstairs, 3-0. Still waiting to see whether they ruled that a hit for Austin Shenton. By the way, he sits at third, and the run total sits at 11 for these Wareham Gatemen. And Luke Roscom, a 4-pitch walk, puts him at first base. Ducks on the pond for Drew Millis. 1 for 4 today, but has also been robbed of a base knock out there by Holt in right field. Gabe Holt flashing the leather on a nifty diving snag to start things off in the second inning. Roscom's second walk of the day. Despite an average that can't seem to get above around 230, 240, Roscom has gotten on base at a pretty unbelievable clip, considering his batting average. On base percentage right around 400, most likely pushed up to around 450 after today's ball game. Traditionally a power bat. We haven't seen a ton of it here. We've seen a lot of hard hit balls this summer on the Cape. Sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. Or else he plays his college ball, originally out of Chaska, Minnesota. And played a summer ball last year, not too far from that, up in northeast Minnesota for the Duluth Huskies of the Northwoods League. Teammates there with Isaac Collins. 1-1 chopped. Foul. Thank goodness for Spencer Horwitz. That might have been another error on him. Well, he doesn't have an error technically, but he has misplayed a couple of balls. He's got the benefit of the doubt from the scorer. But bases still loaded here. 2 down in a 7th inning that has seen 8 men to the plate for the Gatemen. Drew Millis is that 8th man. So the 6th inning now still the only run, or the only inning I should say, that the Gatemen have scored no runs in. 1-2 to Millis. Misses the play by about 10 feet. That one will roll all the way to the brick backstop. 1 run comes uneasily to score. Make that 12-1 Gatemen. The nightmare continues for Bourne at home. They do, in fact, rule that a single for Austin Shenton to trace back to the previous point I was attempting to make. Thank you to J.D. Rachi, our host today. Kind of doing it all, giving us scoreboard updates, giving us scoring updates. Hardworking man out of Syracuse is J.D. Rachi. That one chopped over to second base. Fitzgerald plays it on 2 hops across the diamond, and that'll do it. But the Gatemen put up a 3-spot, make it 12-1. The lead grows for Wareham on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We'll be right back. Stretch time here at Doran Park. Don't go anywhere.
Raffle tickets. We're about to call the winning numbers. For a Bog Pub gift certificate.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Welcome back to Doran Park, 12-1 in favor of your Wareham Gatemen. Second real blowout of the year for the Gatemen as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning now. Easton Lucas back on the bump for Wareham. And in an extremely low leverage situation, and this is where we've seen the bullpen shine, which is good in a vacuum, but the Gatemen bullpen has faltered in 2-run, 1-run contests in the late innings. Now we see Oliver Dunn now playing second base for the Gatemen. Paven Parks' day is done, and Oliver Dunn, another guy we've seen pretty regularly in that 2 spot and at second base. He started to get a hold of a few balls, but has not had a hit in an awful long time. Put up phenomenal numbers this year, his sophomore year at Utah out there in the Pac-12. That's no joke. But batting under 100 this year on the Cape. But the kid's got a very good glove at second base. He is quick, a lot of range at second base. That one lasered into right field, but right into the glove of Isaac Collins. 1 up, 1 down, hard hit off the bat of Horowitz, but 1 away here. Lucas starting his second inning of work after an absolutely masterful first inning of work back in the 6th inning. Got 3 weak ground outs, a couple of dribblers to the right side, and a weakly hit chopper over to Austin Shenton, has now retired 4 straight Bourne Braves. Heading into the weaker part of the lineup, Tyler Fitzgerald. Bats 7th today, he's 0 for 1. Has walked today as well, though. And in a game where, as Cam Stewart mentioned earlier, in a game where the Gatemen have sent each guy to the plate at least 5 times, sometimes 6 if you count the top of the order for guys like Jeremy Idens, the fact that Tyler Fitzgerald has only seen the plate twice today, along with Oscar Serratos and Gabe Holt, is pretty astounding. But it just shows you how dominant the Gatemen pitching staff has been, aside from a blip in the first on back-to-back doubles given up by Garcia. And absolutely lights out. The bullpen, like I said, working well in these low leverage situations, protecting an 11-run lead. Easton Lucas is allowed to be aggressive, throw his fastball, challenge these Bourne hitters. A very loaded offense, one of the better ones in the Cape League, as that one is skied over the first base dugout. 2-2 to the second baseman Fitzgerald out of Louisville. Bases empty, 1 away, bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2. That one chopped weakly over to Kreidler. He's going to field it on his side on a few hops across the diamond after a couple of pump fakes, and the second out of the inning is made. Pump fakes, maybe that wasn't the right word. A couple of glove pumps, maybe.
Now batting the pitcher, number 2 from Georgia Tech, Oscar Serratos.
And now batting, as you might have overheard in the PA, the pitcher, Oscar Serratos. So he did come on to throw the rest of the 7th inning. Didn't get through it unscathed, though. Did give up a run. So that one is skied foul down the right field line. Isaac Collins giving chase, but runs out of room. Three runs scored in the 7th for the Gatemen. 12 runs on 13 hits total. No errors for the Gatemen. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for Bourne. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the 7th. Say that 5 times fast. It just shows you how the Gatemen lineup, everybody's contributed today as strike 2 is delivered. Everybody with a hit, except for Parker Phillips, who was taken out earlier in the game, and Ryan Kreidler, but even he has made himself useful. He scored when he was walked earlier in today's contest, but everybody else with a hit. And 1 through 4 plus Isaac Collins, all with multiple hits. Collins with 3. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, but it tips out of the glove of Millis. He motions for his first baseman, Luke Roscom, to get the throw on the outside part of things, and he does just that. That'll retire the side here in the 7th. Working masterfully again is Easton Lucas, as the redshirt sophomore from Pepperdine retires his 6th straight Bourne Brave. We're going to throw it to our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, who has a word with head coach Don Snedden on how things are going mid-game. Mary, take it away.
Thanks, guys. So, Coach, we've kept adding on to offensive explosion from a few nights ago. We've now outscored opponents 20-2 over the past 2 games. Who's impressed you the most tonight offensively?
Well, we got a lot from Little Collins. I mean, he was 3 for 3, made it out there at the end with that. But, again, it's up and down the lineup. Just take a look at the lineup. It's pretty well balanced.
And Garcia went 5 innings today with 4 strikeouts. What was working for him on the mound?
He's struggling a little bit with his breaking ball, but he got his slider over and he got the changeup when he needed it, and was locating better with his fastball. I was real happy with his performance tonight.
Coach, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mary. Like was mentioned, the offense has been absolutely explosive in the last 2 games. This one's not even over yet. 20 runs off, I believe, 19. Yep, 20 runs on 19 hits in the last, what's 9 plus 7? 16
Good.
Innings of work.
That was quick.
Thank
I like
you.
that.
I'm embarrassed I had to say it out loud. I was hoping to avoid that,
Yeah,
but I'll take that over the pause.
It's pretty embarrassing. I'm not going to lie.
Thanks, Cam. Good to have you back.
Good to be back, Enrique. I got to say, some of these Cape League ballparks, they claim to have like the best hot dog or what have you. I don't know if Bourne's claimed this yet, but they have to have the best music selection.
Yeah, pretty darn good so far. I would agree with you there.
We were talking about it in warm-ups. They play Frank Sinatra after every game, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Hard not to.
Had a little bit of Lynyrd Skynyrd this last half inning. Heard some Slade last time. You don't get to hear a lot of that. So that's something I appreciate.
That one is skied 2 miles into the air off the bat of Ryan Kreidler. Over on it is Jared Triolo. Circles twice and makes the grab. The wind's still blowing, not quite as hard out to left field, but still menacing. Had a lot of time to do some damage to that one in the air, but one away here. Number 8-hole hitter Isaac Collins was having an absolute day. He is up now. He's 3 for 4. 3 singles, 2 runs, scored his first stolen base of the year. And as Don Sneddon called him, Little Collins, having himself an absolute day. Sophomore from Creighton, originally out of Maple Grove, Minnesota, 3-sport athlete. Up there in the land of 1,000 lakes, 10,000 lakes, I should say. Fun fact for all those Wisconsin homers out there who are physically repulsed by the time I say Minnesota, Wisconsin actually has more lakes than Minnesota. That one sharply hit, and it boofs off the glove of Fitzgerald. Tried to field it as it shot up to about waist level, but it hit off his palm, deflected over his right shoulder, and skipped into center field. So now for the 4th time today, Isaac Collins finds himself on base.
That is going to go down as the 3rd error of the game for the Braves. And a note on Isaac Collins, who has now almost solidified a spot in right field in the starting lineup. Since he has moved there last Saturday, he is now 6 for 13 with a homer, an RBI, 6 runs scored, and a stolen base, his first one of the year.
That tells you everything you need to know, Cam. Like you said, has pretty much solidified a spot in the lineup in some capacity. With Zahid Valenzuela, Ryan Kreidler, and sometimes Oliver Dunn clogging up that middle infield, those 3 guys can't play multiple positions, or at least they haven't so far this year. But Isaac Collins out there in right field has found himself a spot. Might be the one objectively positive thing to come from Bryant Packard, giving up that left field spot, forcing Hunter and Idens to shift over a spot.
Yeah, and I think it becomes interesting. From what we've heard, Bryant Packard is intending to come back in just about a week and a half or so. It's not a very long season left for Team USA. If he comes back, he is your left fielder.
Yep.
You got to believe. And then I think that puts pressure on Ryan Kreidler, whose average has gone down significantly. He's been great in the field, though. And then you think you need to find a spot for Isaac Collins if he keeps hitting like this. And second base might be that spot. Zahid Valenzuela can play shortstop as well.
That one looped into right field, or right center field, I should say, a base hit. Producing from the 9-hole spot, Skylar Hunter with his second base knock of the day. He's on base for the 4th time this afternoon. Afternoon, maybe not the right term. The lights are on here at Doran Park. At the 2.5-hour mark in this one. 2-on-1 out for Wareham. The hits continue to pile on. Now 30 hits in the last 2 games for this Gatemen team.
And what a day for Skylar Hunter. Couple of hits, hard hits, 4 times on base, and the only time he was retired was that fly ball in the center field back in the 3rd inning that we thought the wind took a hold of. It's great to see him getting back on track here for the Gatemen.
That one shot foul straight back. Yeah, but like you said, Cam, I think one of the more interesting storylines is as the Gatemen look to continue their their dominance atop the West. That one's skied right up towards us. This one might get ugly. Oh, plunk's not too far from our scouts and our interns over there.
Tom Crane coming away with it for the Gatemen.
I mean, we always knew he had
perfectly.
Always knew he had good hands. He's going to give that one to a lucky fan. Or he might keep it for himself. Nope, he's doing the right thing. Hands it to a young fan. Not that I ever doubted that he would do that.
Tom Crane, man of the people.
Man of the people.
All you could say about him.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Players mention him in interviews. Everyone loves him.
Ripping a miss at a fastball at the shoulders. Jeremy Iden's down on a strikeout for the first time today. And for him, good. The first time in a long time.
Yeah, so, I mean, Idens has had a great day today, obviously, with the strikeout there. But I was talking about Tom Crane a moment ago. He's been mentioned in some interviews. We're not going to say how, but that story by our own Ian Viscera, our interview with Mason Fioli before he left for Team USA, is going to be up on the Gatemen website tomorrow. So look out for that. You'll see what he has to say about guys like Tom Crane, our GM Andy Lang, Will Proctor, his teammate. There's all kinds of good nuggets in there to fill your Wareham Gatemen baseball needs.
So with an 0-2 count now on Oliver Dunn, you're telling me that tomorrow we will get to see an article written about not only Mason Fioli, a stud pitcher for the Yukon Huskies, the Wareham Gatemen, and now Team USA, but also head of security Tom Crane?
Sure are.
Wow, that one shot, foul ball down the first base line. We'll do it again.
A little glimpse into the life of Tom Crane you wouldn't normally see.
Wow, I'm excited.
And I mean, it's like Tom Brady. Anytime you can get a look into that man's life, you take it for what you can get. He's like the Joe DiMaggio of this team. You don't know a thing about him.
2 stellar comparisons in one sentence. Well done.
I could keep going. He's like a Picasso of security.
Tom Crane, a fan favorite and just all-around favorite in the Gatemen organization. Does a lot for the team. We really appreciate everything he does and the energy he brings to the ballpark. Not only Spillane, but here at Doran Park as well. Wherever he goes to follow the Gatemen around. 0-2 to Dunn, up and away. He's getting his first at-bat of the day after coming out as a defensive substitution in the bottom half of the last frame.
And you know what? We love Tom Crane, but I don't know if anyone appreciates him more than visiting broadcasters.
Why is that?
To let them into their little bird's nest
yes,
out
right.
there at Spillane Field. And they're always much earlier than Tom, so they're waiting around. By the time he is able to bring them up there, he is their messiah at that point.
Now 3 big-time comparisons. That one chopped foul.
You know, if Tom Crane is the messiah, though, I don't consider that a comparison.
Is.
I think that's something we need to look into.
Bold verb choice. Maybe our Ian Viscera can get on that one. He's produced fantastic content for the website all year. I think this would be his capstone. 2-2 to Dunn, breaking ball. Got him on the outside corner, no doubt about that one. The Gatemen get 2 on board, but strand both of them. Still lead at 12-1. We go to the bottom of the 8th from Doran Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment. Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Doran Park, 12-1 Gatemen. Getting things started with a bang as Gabe Holt for his first hit of the day. In the 8th inning, finally, the Bourne Braves send everyone to the plate 3 times. 1 run on 5 hits, 3 errors as well for the Bourne Braves. Coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, I saw them have 6 unanswered runs scored in their face out of nowhere in the second half of that one at McKeon Park. The Bats have seemed listless against a dominant effort from these Wareham pitchers. First Ryan Garcia and now Easton Lucas out of Pepperdine. Delivers strike 1 on the inside corner to Anthony Prado.
Yeah, it's easy to look on it now, and in the last 17 innings, it has been 20 runs scored for Wareham, but the way their pitching has held the other teams in check is something that goes unnoticed with that huge offensive output. 6 different guys over the last 2 games have been just stellar for them. Excuse me, 5 separate guys have been just stellar for them.
Anthony Prado out of UConn, waiting on the 0-2 offering. His team trails by 11 here in the 8th. Now one in the dirt. Able to keep in front of him, though, is Drew Millis. Steps up and to the left, right behind the right-handed batter, Anthony Prado Jr. Husky out of UConn. And what was a 3.74 team ERA coming into the day for the Bourne Braves, right in the middle of the pack in the Cape League, is going to take a huge hit here in this ball game. 10 earned runs have come across. Brian Hoeing on the hook for 5 of those, 7 runs total, though. 2-2 the count to Prado. Lefty Lucas working from the stretch. Kicks, deals. Fastball just missed. Count runs full. This is the most runs scored against the Bourne Braves all year. Well, the second time this season the Bourne pitching staff has given up 10-plus runs. First time wasn't the season opener against YD. That one dribbled over to second, safe at first. That one was weakly hit. Oliver Dunn played it about as well as you could have. It was going to bounce right to second base, so he just kind of stood there, waited for the ball. But by the time the ball got there...
Number 10 from Georgia Tech, Chase Murray.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough play there for Dunn. As you mentioned, he's got to get it about right over the second base bag, and a runner coming in, he's able to avoid him and still make that strong throw over, and had to hurry things up to get Prado.
A little bit of a tough break there. So just mark it a 4-3 put out for those you keep and score at home. Ball upstairs, 1-0. Over to second, Gabe Holt. Trying to score just the second Bourne Braves run of the day. That one is shot towards the right side. Oliver Dunn will take it routine over to first. In time, Luke Roscom grabs it out of the air, and over to third is Gabe Holt.
Now batting the third baseman, number 31 from the University of Houston, Jared Triolo.
And coming up next half inning in the top of the 9th, next time the Gatemen get to bat, which is just 1 out away. Got a special guest coming on the air with us. Will join me on the air. So how's this working, Cam? Are you sticking around or are you giving up your headset?
I think we've got our third one ready.
Okay.
I would love to stay around for this.
I would love for you to stay around for it, too. That one lazily hit in the air to Luke Roscom. So when we come back, the Gatemen will still lead at 12-1. Got 3 more outs to add on to an already devastating lead over their rival Braves. And myself and Cam Stewart will be joined by a special guest when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
Welcome back to Doran Park. On the hill, a new arm for the Bourne Braves. 4th pitcher today to be used. Oscar Serrato's the left fielder. Came in to pitch, and his day is done. Myself and Cameron Stewart are joined by a special guest, the man, the myth, the Joe DiMaggio, Tom Brady Messiah combination. A man of many talents.
Oh, please, guys. You could have added more names than that.
It's Tom Crane. Hey, yeah, you look at Cam Stewart. He said I could do more, but he refused to.
Oh, I know. Cam's a good guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention, please. Now pitching for the Braves, number 22 from the University of Mississippi, Greer Holston.
I can't hear anything other than that, yeah.
Leading off for the Gatemen.
Now, Tom, I said earlier,
International University, Austin.
I know you commented on the music choice. I said this may be the best music choice of
they play the
visiting
doors.
ballparks.
They play the doors. It's awesome.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's nice
we
that
came into the game with little doors, and that gets me off, like, on the right foot to start a game.
Oh, well.
That one shot.
You can't beat it. They're playing good music.
That one is shot deep into left center field. You can kiss it goodbye.
Tom Crane on the broadcast. Look at that.
I called that one, by the way, just after he hit it.
Just after he hit it? Was that what we couldn't hear?
I did. I called it.
So Tom Crane steals my call of the Austin Shenton home run, his 2nd of the year solo shot. 3rd base hit of the day, 2nd RBI of the day. The 3rd baseman from FIU continues to produce at an absolutely stupid clip, 13-1 Gatemen. Lyle Lockhart will bat with the bases empty and nobody out.
Now we have a guy here in Tom Crane who has been around this organization for so long. We've got to ask you some questions here.
Sure.
Favorite player in your time?
Daniel Parker. Now playing for the Chicago White Sox.
You have a least favorite?
Yes.
Are we going to hear this?
No.
Man.
Tom Crane, a very smart interviewee, answering only the question that was asked to him.
That's right.
0-2 now to Lockhart.
Broadcasting intern with the best hair.
About 4 years ago.
Again, he answered the question that you asked him.
Come on
you
now.
got to clarify that, Cam.
Well, Cam gave me $10, so I got to say it's him.
Got him on the inside corner. Lyle Lockhart goes down looking. 2nd strikeout of the day for him. Luke Roscom will bat now.
Luke Roscom.
One for one pair of walks.
We had this discussion on Around the Horn, which will be airing at the end of the week here.
Uh-oh.
And I proclaimed myself, so.
I would. I mean, I'll vote for you if it means anything. Well, then again, if I do it, it's...
That's 2 votes to anyone else going to chalk up to?
Well, he got paid, so his vote counts for like half.
He owed me. We broke even.
I think there's a slide.
Well, all right.
There's a sliding scale depending on how much you pay.
By the way, thanks for that cake, too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about that media guide we got for you for your birthday?
I thought that was awesome. I love it. I've looked at it several times already.
Wow. Look at
that. It's my 10th year, and I got to say that was a good birthday. Great birthday. Where's my present, by the way?
What, the hair thing wasn't enough?
No, I thought I got a boat.
The Messiah wasn't enough?
Well, I think that just depends who you ask.
Yeah, exactly.
1-2 now to Luke Roscom. The Gatemen 3 outs away from giving Tom Crane his real present, which is a blowout win over the rival Braves.
Yeah.
There you go. Wind still furiously blowing out to left field. Bit of a dust storm. Well, storm might be a strong word, but the dust is starting to swirl here as it catches some of the lights that are on in full force, close to the 3-hour mark in this one. 2-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? No appeal. Now an appeal made. No, says the third base umpire, so full count to Luke Roscom.
All right, Tom, favorite Gateman moment?
2012 championship win at
Shocker.
YD.
That's got to feel
Being
good.
out there in right field and watching all these home runs go. It was Got me my ring. I want another one, though, this year.
Gatemen well positioned to do so. Got the easiest path to the playoffs if they were to start today, but we've seen even last year, of course, Tom, you were around for this, and Cam, so were you. As the Falmouth Commodores, as Drew Millis steps in with 2 down and the bases empty, Commodores got the 1 seed. Gatemen snuck into the playoffs as a 4 and actually swept the Commodores in 2 games. That one's dribbled foul down the left field line. The playoffs really are a different beast.
Oh, it is. All you want to do is get in. Then it's all new after that. I've seen the hot teams go out very early.
And we saw it last year about just wanting to get in, because the Gatemen were almost trying not to at that point. You remember, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
The Hyannis was coming down on their necks for that 4 seed, and all they had to do was win their last 2, and they lost both, but Hyannis lost 2, so they barely snuck in.
Bouncing ball across the diamond. Prado at short to Horwitz at first. And the side is retired. 1-2-3 after the Austin Shenton home run. For Tom Crane, a big thank you to him as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Always happy to have you on here with us. 13-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We'll be right back from Doran Park.
Stop by the Ansel.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Stop by for a nice lunch or a relaxing dinner. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub foods such as fish and chips, sticky ribs, pulled pork, delicious burgers, and pizza. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. The Brewfish Beer Garden is now open for outdoor dining under the tent and casual dining and drinks at the outdoor bar, along with live music on Friday and Saturday nights as well as Sunday afternoons outside. Brewfish Bar and Eatery is located on Route 105 in Marion.
Welcome back to Doran Park. Bottom of the 9th here as more fantastic music comes blasting on over the airwaves. Cam Stewart, a big fan, and his very good hair rocking ever so slightly with a headbang. Bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Bourne Braves to, if not mount a miracle comeback, at least get some points on the board for pride, bump up some personal statistics. But Easton Lucas has been nothing short of dominant, and now what will be his 4th inning of work. The redshirt sophomore out of Pepperdine has pitched magnificently. 1 strikeout, just 1 hit given up. Has retired 9 out of the 10 batters he has faced so far.
That was Baba O'Reilly by The Who, if you were wondering at home. It's a classic right there.
Spencer Brickhouse's day is done. Now batting for the first time, Ashton, I should say, Bardzell, excuse me. He's out in left field as he came in when Oscar Serratos came from left to pitch. Like I said, Serratos pitched at Georgia Tech, a 2-way guy in his freshman year. Great numbers at the plate. Not so hot on the bump. But all things considered, a pretty good outing for him. 1 earned run, in and 1 1/3 innings of work. It was his pitching debut on the Cape. And batting for Lyle Lynn, the new catcher, Thad Phillips. Batting .074 on the year. But at this point, you're down by 12, not a lot of pressure. Try to get a base knock to bump up that stat line. 2-1 is the count to Bardzell. Swing and a miss. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased it out in front of him. Got him on strikes. That one brought to you by the law offices of Lang. Exafaris and Bullard, 2nd of the day for Lucas. 1 away for Thad Phillips. Swing and a miss on that one. Lucas continues to deal here. Gatemen up by 12, 16 hits for the Wareham Gatemen, just 5 for the Bourne Braves. 0-1 in there, right down Broadway, 0-2 to Thad Phillips.
And this is a terrific answer against a team you've lost twice to this year, and you've played really well in both those games. A couple of seesaw affairs. We thought we might have that after a 1-1 first inning, but that has just turned out to not be the case. The Gatemen have taken what they could get today and have just absolutely piled it on.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, and like you said, what a statement win for the Gatemen to walk away victors in this one, barring the single greatest comeback in baseball history. 0-2, turned out of the way of it, but didn't really miss the zone by that much, 1-2. But the only team that the Gatemen have not beat this year about to be knocked down. But Bourne walked away winners in the first 2 games, 4-3 here at Dorn Park, 5-3 at Spillane on Monday. Run differential swinging all the way in the Gatemen's favor, though, despite being 1-2 against the team from across the bridge. That one fouled off. We'll do it again, 1-2.
Great play out there off to the right behind the bleachers here at Dorn Park.
That's what the applause seemed to indicate. I was bummed I missed it. I was looking down at my scorebook.
2 hands, but no glove. Pretty impressive play there.
Yeah.
Just wait on it. That's a tough one. You camped under it all night on a foul ball. You've got the kids running by you trying to get it. People ducking out of the way. It's tough to keep your concentration.
That one upstairs, 2-2 the count. Two. It looks like it clipped him. I'm not sure where, but Thad Phillips aboard here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, that one getting him looks like the top of the thigh there. His left one that's facing Easton Lucas, and Thad Phillips hasn't had too much time tonight. His pants are still very white. Baseball's still very white. Tough to catch that one, but that's how Phillips gets down to first.
First time he's been on base since June 26th. We went 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored on a solo shot against Brewster. One of his 2 hits, a solo home run. The other one a single. How about that? So that one a strike right down Broadway. 0-1 to Spencer Horwitz, one of the few Bourne Braves today with a base hit. That one sharply hit up the middle. Could be a double play. Across the bag, over to first. A double play for Ryan Kreidler and Luke Roscom. That one brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency, where protection is the best policy. Blowout fashion for the Gatemen. They've now beat 2 teams by 10-plus runs. And this time it is the rival Bourne Braves. These 2 teams, of course, met in the West Division Championship last year in the playoffs. But the Gatemen finally come away with a win over the Braves, like I said, in blowout fashion, 13-1 over the Bourne Braves. A heck of a performance all around, up and down the lineup from just about everyone. Seen only 1 Gateman walk away with an offer today. Everybody else with a base knock, and a lot of guys with multiple hits. Isaac Collins, of course, had a great day. Paven Parks had a great day as well. Jeremy Idens, and Paven Parks is actually our player of the game today, so he will be on with J.D. Rachi, our host, in the postgame show, which we will get to right after these messages. Again, your final from Dorn Park, 13-1. We'll be right back with the postgame show in just a second.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
Welcome into the Gatemen Postgame Show here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. A dominant 13-1 win for the Gatemen tonight over their rival, the Bourne Braves. And really from the very start, this was Wareham's game. 2 batters in, you already had a run on the board if you're Wareham. Jeremy Idens, a leadoff triple, thanks in large part to some windy conditions here at Doran Park today. But on leadoff triple to start the game, and then Paven Parks drives him in on an RBI ground out. That would be the first of 3 RBIs on the day for Paven Parks. And then the Gatemen just continued to add on only 2 innings today, where the Gatemen did not score runs. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, none in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, none in the 8th, and then 1 run in the 9th inning on an Austin Shenton home run. Austin Shenton, as usual, continues to rake for this team. Went 3 for 5 on the day with a walk. He was a candidate for our player of the game, but we're going with Paven Parks today. He'll be joining us in just a couple of minutes. Looking at some other standout performers, Skylar Hunter probably had his best game in a Gateman uniform today. Went 2 for 3, 2 walks, a run scored. He did have a base running mistake back in the 5th inning, but at that point the game was already more than in hand. So Skylar Hunter had himself a nice day. One thing we're going to keep an eye on moving forward, Parker Phillips got a pitch that hit him in the hand, had to be removed from the game. We will keep you updated on that whenever some injury news becomes apparent. But another guy that stood out, how about Isaac Collins today? 3 for 5, 3 singles in his first 3 at-bats, his first stolen base of the season. And then after that, he reached again on an error on a very sharply hit ground ball, so that could have easily been scored. Another single for Collins. He continues to impress here, and he's kind of working himself into almost an everyday right fielder spot. He and Drew Millis have traded off a couple of times, but Collins, has certainly been more impressive at the plate. Looking at the pitching side of things tonight, Ryan Garcia looked pretty good. Went 5 innings, gave up just 4 hits, a run, it was earned, and had 3 strikeouts, the right-hander out of UCLA. And then how about this, a 12-run game, but because of the amount of innings he pitched, Easton Lucas goes for, picks up a save in this game. Not very often you see a 13-1 game have a save in it, but Easton Lucas was magnificent out of the bullpen, gave up just 1 hit coming in the 8th inning, and then was absolutely shut down from there on out with 2 strikeouts for him. First relief appearance we've seen from Easton Lucas this season, and really everything was just going the Gatemen's way tonight. Once again, the final score from Doran Park in Bourne, 13-1 in favor of the Wareham Gatemen. Bourne scored 1 in the first and then was just shut down. They had 2 hits in the first inning, and they had just 3 for the rest of the game. All right, Paven Parks, our player of the game, coming up in just a couple of minutes, but we're going to take one last quick break here on the Gatemen Postgame Show. You don't want to miss this interview with Paven Parks, coming up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Established in 1877, TM Riders, a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Riders' goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich, Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Postgame Show here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wrapping things up from Doran Park, now joined by our player of the game tonight, Paven Parks. An excellent night at the plate for you tonight, Paven. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. What was going right for you?
I just feel like I started out 0 for 2, and just staying in your head that, got more at-bats coming and making the most of the opportunity every time you get.
And tonight, a little bit of a defensive shift for you, usually playing at third base or DHing. First start at second base tonight. Is that something you've done before?
Yeah, it is. I played a little bit of everywhere at Kent, mostly third base, a little bit of shortstop, and a little bit of second base, a little bit back and forth.
What goes into the adjustment when you move from a corner infield spot to a middle infield spot? Because then obviously you got to worry about double plays, things of that nature.
Yeah, definitely when I go, especially from third to a position like second base, I feel like I'm farther away and realizing that I have more time and the balls don't seem like they're hit quite as hard. So I'd say that's the biggest adjustment.
And then also the first time you've hit in the 2-hole this season, so moving up in the lineup, usually in the 6 or 7 area. How does moving up that many spots in the lineup affect the way you approach at-bats?
I wouldn't say it changes a whole lot. Just I want to be in the 2-hole. You want to be a guy who gets on base and so want to see pitches. Let the hitters behind me have a chance to see what the pitcher has and give them a good look of what's coming.
Tonight, the Gatemen's last team that they've beaten. Everybody else had been beaten by the Gatemen this season, finally getting a win over the Bourne Braves, the quote-unquote hated rivals of the Gatemen. How is it for you guys to not only get over the hump against a team you're 0-2 against this season, but also pick up a win over a rival?
It feels good. Like you said, we haven't been able to quite get over the hump with them yet, and we did in a big way tonight, and it was fun.
Then looking forward to Brewster tomorrow, one of the lower tier teams in the Cape. How do you keep it going against a weaker Brewster team tomorrow?
You can't ever overlook anybody, and everybody up here is a good player, and you got to respect them and take them serious.
All right, Paven Parks, our player of the game, 2 for 4 tonight, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Paven, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, a fantastic win for the Wareham Gatemen over the Bourne Braves tonight. An absolutely stellar performance from Paven Parks among many, many other players. It was a tough decision for who to pick tonight for player of the game, but Paven Parks certainly a standout performer tonight. Well, folks, that'll do it for us here from Doran Park. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Trevor Russo and Cam Gonsalves. Our sideline reporter is Mary Orders, thanks to our writer Ian Viscera, and today's play-by-play broadcasters Henrique Demore and Cameron Stewart. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Wareham Gatemen play the Brewster Whitecaps at Stony Brook for the first time this season. First pitch is scheduled for 5 o'clock, and our coverage begins at 4:30 p.m. with Gatemen Pregame Show on the Wareham Gatemen YouTube channel. For everyone involved in today's broadcast, I'm J.D. Rachi. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Once again, the final score from Doran Park in Bourne. The Wareham Gatemen 13, the Bourne Braves 1.